believe that I was odd? If I told you I looked in the mirror and hypnotized myself into perceiving I was God, your understanding of your own divinity got abused in church. Genesis 9:25. They tried to use the verse to tell you recur personification of the universe. What I'm attempting to encapsulate in this unique verse is you and I verse. Oh, we don't need new sneakers or the new FIFA. We need new leaders. And I don't mean Obama or the pastor, your mama, Sean Carter. I'm talking to you fathers more than marijuana farmers, getting bananas with your llamas, who was getting into dramas, disrespecting the partners. The kids are left in the darkness, and no one's left to lead the way. And they ain't sure who mum loves more, weave or rapes. As I blow a smoke ring, I sip my E&J. I wonder if we never lost pack where we be today. I know it hurts, but it's real. First they work in the kilts, and these rappers spitting verses in the skirt and some ills. But all the real niggas get murdered and killed. I'm sending out a SOS, this is an urgent appeal. We need more focused soldiers, too many culture vultures. Witnesses with no credit, trying to call Jehovah the revolution. Will not be televised, get off your damn sofa. Be more than a dank folder and study that sang code for his gully when man knows the truth about his ancestors' legacy. Carried on his damn shoulder, identify him more with UBP than he can Sosa. But he's got his swam and couple man in a Land Rover with a plan for couple grands. That's a mad road, son. You'll be sitting in the can if the plan goes wrong. And it will, gonna set us up to fail. Getting in and out of cells that we can't get enough of jail. No peace in the streets, it's just another hell. But mum's heart still broke when they ain't give my brother bell. This ain't a stupid cartoon. They're shooting harpoons at us young tooting car moons. Look at our wounds, they will Malachi your cue to silence the truth. Mumia Abu Jamal, you for life for your views. Fluoride to calcify the third eye of the youth and leave them blind and confused. Smart lies in the news, dirty like the junkie in the park, lighting a spoon. Do you know the truth about the dark side of the moon? The sculptor, NASA, and ask them who's Jack Parsons, stranger than John Carter versus Marvin the Black Martian. You know, when a man's got a crater on the moon named after him, Alistair Crowley's brethren, you don't even know who that is. Go ask NASA. They'll be giving you stuff like Avatar and EP and all this rubbish. They ain't telling you what's really popping. You think you're in the know. Got your eyes wide shut. We should run up in the Vatican, gas blasting, but you mango munching coons are too busy dancing and laughing, asking for chances and meager advances. An elitist and heartless system defeat is the harvest. It's like you sow with your soul, but what you're reaping is garbage. Most of you are brainwashed by television, so you switch your brains off while Jedi's spitting. Yeah, it's real, but your dying is still realer. I am 7, the red pill dealer, slanging reality raps about these alleys and flats, no fantasy fronting, trying to bring reality back. Fuck boys keep screaming about carrying straps and handling crap, but none of them can actually rap. Turn on the mixtape, all I hear is yappity yap. I'm getting cash in the trap. Blah blah, something about grabbing my gap. I'm more genocidal, anti-Nubian propaganda from my mouth of a being perceived as a proper gangster, but I just see a proper wankster. And even though he sells, he is just the anchor. Smoke and mirrors, illusion for the camera. Look how many false prophets infiltrated since the Panthers. I hit the steam room and meditate on blocking chakras. Astral projected by repeating forgotten mantras. Quantum leaping to the past life, gasping anger. No crabs in my bucket, but both my dogs are cancer. When I die, don't cry, let's smoke a box of ganja. Throw my CD on the stereo and drop some bangers. One last time, turn it high, let me speak to the masses. Listen to every song I wrote, but you sheesh in my ashes. Give my son my lyric book and let him read from a passage. I'm a believer in magic, and in every bar I cast a spell to free your mind from this darkened cell. Grant you bell, liberate your soul and break your art from jail. I know you feel your dogs are real, they're fugazi. So good sometimes it's hard to tell, but I can see the star trapped in the heart of a trap star. It's different from a star rapping about trapping but lacks heart. The world gets deceived by the media easy. Give us free is what I scream at the TV. Holographic subtitles when I dream in Swahili, feeling like the seed of a fiend. All I know is there's lessons that I'm yet to learn, tables that I'm yet to turn, bridges that I'm yet to burn, stripes that I'm yet to earn. Still on the battlefield, feeling like a veteran. They're trying to trick you out your souls, and you're letting them. They're trying to trick you out your souls, and you're letting them. Trilluminati.
Oh, it's cold in my fucking studio. Microphone check 1 2 1 2. It is freezing out here, man. I'm not gonna lie. 1 2 1 2. Microphone check 1 2. This is what you have to do online. Trilluminati live, Red Pill, Trilluminati. Clicks, like, comment, share. subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when we go live, and please put the number of your like in the chat, you know, like that. I need some tunes to warm me up, man. Yo, it's blitz. I am absolutely freezing in here, man. Shit. It is not nice. Okay, icebox in the studio. Got a little heater on, so if you hear a little buzzing in the background, someone unhide Smudge, please. Sorry, my bad. Unhide Smudge, please. One of you lot, please. If you could just do that for me kindly. You know what I mean? Oh, shit, man. I feel proper English. I just want to complain about how cold I'm feeling. Let me go with my favorite, and then we'll work.
If you don't love yourself, know that you are loved. Even if you don't love yourself.
Big up, family. Walk on. That's what I'm saying, man. Even. Yeah, family. We in the building, man. Yeah, family. Hope everyone's good. What's going on, man? What's going on? It's 8 degrees in Hackney and that. They'll keep the lights forwarding. We got Trillo. We got Silverside, Randy, Mental Universe. Wow, Leon Flames, where's your numbers, man? Don't you lot know the tradition? Humans nowadays, man. Big up Mood Best. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, man. What you lot saying, man? You lot saying? I ain't got shit to report. Been getting on with it. Getting the work done and that. Hope you lot been cool. You know, the weather switched up, so everyone's just in this zone. The nation, whatnot. Do you know what I mean? The body's realizing that you ain't getting no more sun. The body's come to the conclusion that there's no more sun forwarding. So, yeah, man. You know, hoodie season, we call this. You get your hoodie on, you get your big hoodie on, yeah, and you just keep your head down and you just grind. Whatever you're on, just grind and just keep that wheel turning, man. Because, yeah, you know, it's cold. The cold can make the wheels get stuck a little bit. You know what I mean? Bro, headphones are myth, man. I got no headphones for the gym, bro. I went on holiday and I lost my headphones in the cab back. Yeah. When I left the cab, I didn't leave with my headphones, or they dropped on the floor. I was listening to music all the way in the cab back from the airport. And then woke up in the morning, it's like, yeah, let me go gym. Couldn't find my headphones nowhere, bro. I was so pissed. So I don't know what I did. But I need a good pair, man. Some Bluetooth ones, you know, earbud type ones, but don't fall out when I'm doing my workout. And if they could be even slightly water resistant, that'd be nice as well. Because sometimes I like to go in the steam room with them in my ears, but whatever. Yeah, man. So there's no music. Luckily, one of the gyms I go to has got all right music selection, so it's not bad. And the other gym I go to, my local gym, is so shit and the music is so dead. It literally takes your motivation out of you. Like they play the same 20 songs, literally. Maybe I don't even know if it's that many. They play the same 20 songs. So no matter what time of day you go there, you're gonna hear that tune that you hear. And then you start humming along to like songs you know are shit. You get me? You start humming along and singing along, and then you're like, nah, man, this is dead. Yeah. That gym so bad, man's thought about bringing their own speaker. In fact, I've seen man bring their own speaker there in the past. I bring their own speaker and just plug it in and just start playing music over their music. Fuck it. Man can't listen to their shit. Get her heads Bluetooth headphones for Speakonomic free. Why? Why do I need headphones for Speakonomics, brother? I must have missed your point. No, that you are loved, even if you don't love yourself. Do. No, that you are loved. Speaking of just a target date. Let's see, do repeat man like Silver, boom. Big up Raw. Hey Raw, I forgot to holler at you, you know. Hey Raw, have you got any weekend time? Maybe Sunday. You know, I got another podcast. It's in London Bridge. Hit me up, bro. Hit me. You're supposed to be hitting me on these weekends, bro. Even today, man, could have done something. If you're about, hit me up, man. I got somewhere to go as well. I got my friend's birthday. It's a surprise party for him. He's holding it, so I've been invited to go show my face. Trill's one of my oldest friends. I'm gonna show my face real quick. I don't really feel to be out like that, but yeah. he's gonna bitch. And he came to the last Speakonomics as well, so he's gonna bitch if I don't turn. If I'm not there, it's gonna register it. Okay, these are my real ones. These are my real friends. But yeah, Raw, hit me up, bro. Big up yourself, Dublin. Much love. You're another one. I tell you, hit me up. Big up King H. Yeah. Big up Dubs, man. What, can you jump on, Dublin? Come give us a chat. I always got my hair like this. My hair's been like this for time now. I need to switch it up. Woo. There we go. So yeah, happy Friday, family tree. Happy Friday. I'm here in the building. I'm not really good at chatting to myself, but I'm gonna start coming on here with some rants. I'm gonna start ranting. I'm that husband who don't recognize when you change your hair. Yeah, you don't recognize. And she's talking about, oh, have you ever have you noticed anything different about me? And he's just looking at you like, huh? Yeah. All right, so yeah, man, I got something. I don't know how good it's gonna be, but let's have a gander.
Tonight on Piers Morgan Uncensored, Israel at war, the uncensored debate. Mohammed Hijab is a Muslim philosopher, scholar, and YouTuber whose first appearance on the show was viewed by more than 8 million people. Rabbi Shmuel. Israel at war, the uncensored debate. Mohammed Hijab is a Muslim philosopher, scholar, and YouTuber.
The smile.
Whose first appearance on the show was viewed.
The smile. Hijab is funny, man. He's a funny guy.
By more than 8 million people. Rabbi Shmuley Boteach has been called the most famous rabbi in America. He is the international best-selling author of Kosher Hate and the.
So I listen. Mohammed Hijab has got the platform of like, honestly, man. They're sparing no expense at the platforms they're letting him get access to, boy.
He's a clown. He's a clown, man. Big up, Jed.
Yeah, big up, Randy. I mean, why do you call him a clown?
Man, he just is fake. He is fake as fuck. He comes out with all this nonsense, unresearched. And then just because he's had so many discussions and debates, he manages to wangle it into conversations.
Okay.
I watched a bit of this last night and I was just like, yeah, I can't do it to myself. But let's review it.
Why? What was wrong with it?
I find hijab jarring, basically. It just jars me, you know.
Yeah, I hear you. I was never really jarred by hijab. Like,
no, it jars me now because I've watched so much of him in the content. I'm just like wanker.
Okay.
Just my personal view. You don't. Nobody has to.
You're allowed it, man. You're allowed it. I'm not challenging your view. I don't know him to know whether he's a wanker or whatever. My interaction with him, apart from the time where, it kicked off.
Have you got a rule book for me? Have you got a rule book for me, hijab? What the fuck? What a wanker!
Yeah, you got a rule book. You got a rule book?
That was the best line of that whole video. You know, we got a rule book. If you got a rule book for me, hijab.
You're telling me my behavior is unacceptable. Yeah,
I love that line. When he came out with that piece,
you know, that was the equivalent. That was the equivalent of equivalent of a police pincer movement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, man. Yeah, man. Big up them boys, man. They stuck it all over, gents. You know what I mean? Didn't touch me, but yeah, they stuck it all over me. Had me pressured.
Hang on. ML Reggie's saying hijab is all right, a little childish. Why the fuck is ML Reggie supporting hijab? I don't get that.
Nah, I think he's just trying to be honest. Do you know what I mean? He's not like the things what the things we don't like hijab for are his childishness. He's right, and like for me personally, his theatrics. But that makes him a good person to comment on and to view and to review because he's quite a theatrical person. But yeah, he's
that's
really
true. That's true. I just get fed up of him suddenly pulling out the mouth guard and then showing it on camera. I've got the mouth guard. I'm ready. Fuck off.
Yeah.
And then when we reviewed the boxing little event in Marble Arch, yeah, right. I wasn't feeling it. I'm not a boxing fighting expert, but what I saw wasn't impressive.
You know what's mad? Has anybody heard about this rabbi, the most famous rabbi in America? I never heard of this guy.
Rabbi Shmuley.
Shmuley, yeah.
Shmuley.
Never heard of this guy.
Israel warrior. Both American. Piers Morgan Uncensored. Israel at war. The uncensored debate. Mohammed Hijab is a Muslim philosopher, scholar, and YouTuber whose first appearance on the show was viewed by more than 8 million people. Rabbi Shmuley Boteach has been called the most famous rabbi in America. He is the international best-selling author of Kosher Hate and The Israel Warrior. Both men are passionate, both men are influential, and they both have vehemently opposing views. Tonight, they go uncensored and head-to-head. We're bringing together two very opinionated, passionate, influential people, very opposing views.
Hey, you know, I just realized Piers Morgan is doing what I always wanted to do. Host big debates.
Clickbait.
Nah, host big debates on a platform. That's what uncensored debates. I always wanted to do that. We tried to get it. We tried to make it a thing, but it never stuck. You know, because people were unwilling to come forward. They were hesitant. They seemed a bit, you know, lacked confidence. And then some of our heavy hitters, they wouldn't step up. Whenever
I will step up.
Whenever they were channeled, I said our heavy hitters, bro.
Yeah, good one. Yeah, I don't claim to be a debater heavy hitter any day. I'm just a beginner. When you got Sniper and you around, I'm sort of out of my league.
Yeah, me personally, I've always said I'm not really a debater. I'm a conversator. You know, I will conversate and whatever. But yeah, debate. I'm a baby in debating, man. Really, you know, coming with my structure and my points, and I'm a baby in that. But I think I could do okay in it. I don't see me being shit at it. But on the day, like I could think it up in my mind and think I'm gonna be so sick, and on the day I'm you know what I mean?
Silverback, that'd be a good start for me. Just annihilate Eunice.
Yes, lad.
Yes, Heathen. How you doing, bro?
Sound good to you?
Huh?
Sound?
Yeah, sound, yeah. I'm good, man. I'm good, brother. I'm good.
I'm going to
just
jump
cold.
off, but have a good stream, and I'll be in the chat. I might jump on later. So later, guys.
All right, then.
Yeah, what did they say?
What happened, Hebron? What did you say?
What did they say to Randy there? Only messing.
Oh no, he's not. Randy's not fucking with you. What's the problem? All right.
You must be a Tory.
Here we go.
So we're going to have a proper debate, and we're going to see if somewhere there is perhaps more that we can agree on than we first imagined. So thank you for joining me, gentlemen. We tossed a coin before we came on air tonight, and actually, you won.
Right, he's moving like rap battle URL. Man tossed the coin. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You say you watched it already, yeah?
Yeah, I watched it this morning, lad.
Right, why so many people eager to watch it? I didn't know you lot cared.
Do you know why I watched it, lad? Because my bird doesn't get into any of this stuff. And I was in my nan's last night looking after my nan, and my bird watched it. So I wanted to know what she watched, sort of thing. She doesn't watch anything sort of political or anything, do you know what I mean? But for some reason, she watched this last night.
Okay.
It's just chaos anyway, lad. To be fair.
Right, let's go.
The toss, and you said you want to go second.
I defer to my brother.
And the way this will work, Mohammed, we have 4 sections of this debate. And at the start of each one, you'll both get 1 minute uninterrupted to say what you want to say about each of the themed titles of each block. So you go first, and at the end of your minute, you'll hear a sound. And when you hear that, you end. And then
hey, this is mad. A minute, you know.
Hey, wait until you hear the noise, lad. It's a beat test.
The first theme
Remember the beat test at school?
Yeah. Are Hamas to blame? You have a minute, Mohammed, from now.
From one perspective, Hamas started the battle because obviously from October 7th, even they themselves title it Tufan al-Aqsa, or the flooding of al-Aqsa. But from another perspective, if you really look at it from an international law perspective, we're talking about 1967, we're talking about Security Resolution 242, in which it is actually stated that Israel is in a belligerent state because they're occupying the West Bank, East Jerusalem, and Gaza. And they have been, so therefore the war has been continual for a very long time according to international law. But let's remove Hamas from the situation altogether. Let's remove them. What do you have? You have the West Bank. And what do you have in the West Bank? You have 187 children who have been put in prisons. They have been put in prisons, according to Bet Salem, without charge. You have 44 children before October the 7th.
He's mad. He just turns up. He's just like, yo, turn up.
Resolution 242, in which it is actually stated that Israel is in a belligerent state because they're occupying the West Bank, East Jerusalem, and Gaza. And they have been, so therefore the war has been continual for a very long time according to international law. But let's remove Hamas from the situation altogether. Let's remove them. What do you have? You have the West Bank. And what do you have in the West Bank? You have 187 children who have been put in prisons. They have been put in prisons, according to Bet Salem, without charge. You have 44 children before October the 7th that have been killed before October the 7th in just 2023 alone. So if you remove Hamas from the equation, what you have the West Bank. You remove dominance from the equation, you have the West Bank, and what you have occupation, you have settlement, which you condemned, rightfully so. You condemned that on your show. The settlement's there.
Okay. Very much really. 1 minute.
Hey, this is nuts. This is like a game show. Hey, it's like a game show. Big up Uncode Barber. Come on. Put the number of your like in the chat, please, family. Yeah, please hit that like button. Let's get the algorithm working for me, because man's been holding a sly shadow banning across the social networking still for a minute. The social networks have been like rejecting my posts, giving me low numbers. No one's seeing my shit. It's getting peak. So yeah, they're putting a chokehold on your boy. I don't even know what I said. I must have said something good recently. Well, I must be doing something good because they've stepped it up on me, man. So yeah, please, man, your help is appreciated. Big at yourself, Sammy. Much love. Hope you're good. Hope to see you at the next Speakonomics, December the 3rd. You lot make sure you get your tickets from Eventbrite. Do you know what I mean? Go on Instagram, Jedi Online _ if you want to find me. You can see all the promotions for that. You can see the lineup of who's going to be there. We've got a live band, we've got musicians, we've got artists. Sorry, I meant to say magicians. We've got music artists. We've got all sorts going on, man. A great panel or great panels. And we're going to have some good conversations. So please get down there, come enjoy on Sunday, the 3rd of December. It's going to be the 3rd and final installment for Speakonomics Live season 1. And we're going to be going on into season 2 next year. So, yeah, come along, man. If you like conversating, if you like networking, mingling, having a laugh, that's your kind of thing, then come through, man. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. I don't think many people have left that spot disappointed. And if they have, I'm working on turning it up to make it better, bigger and better. Yeah, what are you saying, Raw? Raw, let me message. Let me hit this.
Respond.
Resolution 242 in the UN doesn't mention a single thing about aggression or aggressor. That is a total fabrication, and it speaks about disputed territories. But let's be clear. The occupier of Gaza is Hamas. They won an election in 2006, had a civil war with Mahmoud Abbas, took the Palestinian Authority officials, threw them off buildings, killed Muslims, killed Arabs. Mahmoud Abbas is afraid to go to Gaza. He's terrified of Hamas. He hasn't been there since 2007. And let's be clear, Hamas is an abomination to Islam. Sultan Salah al-Din, the greatest Muslim conqueror of all time, after whom the main artery in Gaza is named, he said that you have to allow all prisoners to be redeemed. He would never hold hostages. And remember, Islam is about fair treatment of prisoners of war. Hamas beheaded Thai non-Jewish workers. You asked your last appearance here for real first-hand sources. I'm the first-hand source. I saw it in Kibbutz Alumim. They raped women. They had sex with dead women's bodies. They are evil, and do the right thing and call them evil.
All right, we've had a minute each. Okay, we've got a passionate start. Mohammed, let me ask you about Hamas.
I want to first, before you do that, I want to commend you, Piers, honestly, because bringing me on for the second time, I have to commend you. And the fact that you actually condemned the settlements is very good. But people want to know, do you think the IDF are a terrorist organization?
No.
You don't think they're a terrorist organization? Okay, well, if you look at the UN definition of terrorist organization, they say killing civilians for political
gain. You're asking my opinion.
No, but if the UN definition, according to the UN definition, it's killing civilians for political objectives. Why are they not terrorist organizations?
Well, you've asked me a straight question. I don't think they are a terror organization.
So when you see babies like this, the ones who kill babies like this are not terrorists.
It's horrific.
So the people who kill babies like this are not terrorists.
Well, let me respond.
Yes.
Let me respond. We'll both, it's not your turn. You can both get into this. Here's my response to that. And I've thought carefully about this. I'll be very honest about my own feelings. I have a real moral quandary about this because as a father, I hate these scenes of kids being killed in Gaza. It's horrific, right? We all know it's horrific.
But are they a terrorist organization, though?
I'm about to explain to you what I think my position is. My position is after what happened on October the 7th, it was so barbaric, so disgusting.
So you can kill children?
Well, no, what you can do...
That's exactly what terrorists say, by the way.
Let me answer your question.
This is not a debate. This is someone...
Lad, it doesn't get much better. Jed, you're on mute.
Yeah, well, yeah, say it doesn't get better than this, no?
No, it doesn't get much calmer anyway.
Like,
I think they scraped the barrel for these two, to be fair.
Do you think IDF is a terrorist group?
Not really, lad.
No. Why?
Not really, but I could see. I wouldn't make the link that he's making, but I could see them. You could more make the link, in my opinion, anyway, that you have basically foreign fighters coming over to fight for them. You know what I mean? Because you're having people from all around the world. If you're Jewish, I think you have every right to fight in the IDF, don't you? I know I've got family in America, and some of their family they've married into, and they've gone over to fight. So
Heathen, this is the funniest interview ever. He's going to the geezer.
That's what everyone's saying.
He goes to him, your daughter's got a sex shop.
Yeah, we're not there.
Why is it there vibrating?
talk
Yeah,
about
it's
nothing.
right,
Got a vibrator in your pocket.
Yo, I beg you, please don't talk about nothing we ain't watched yet.
Oh, you ain't watched it yet?
Well, can you not see where we are?
I just jumped on. I just pulled up,
Oh,
got out the
okay.
car. And, oh, it's so funny.
But that's what I mean. I think it's quite disrespectful as well, though, to be fair, because it is a serious subject, isn't it? Like, to be fair.
Boy, sometimes you gotta pull every trick out of the bag, innit?
You could say that, lad, yeah.
Yeah. But he does, like, he ends up getting to the guy. The guy just starts spazzing. Let me not spoil it. Yeah, let me not spoil it. Let me not spoil it. But the tactics, I think the tactics work. The tactics do work.
Well, yeah, can't go to that question. Do you think the IDF are a terrorist organisation?
I think anyone who, by the definition of terrorism, uses violence to kind of get a political response or something, yeah, you can regard them as a terrorist, because that's what terrorists are supposed to do, isn't it? Terrorists are supposed to be sort of turning the people against their leaders by terrorizing them. So no, you're not protecting us or whatever. That's the whole, like, when you look at terrorism, it's like, I think that really the British invented it. The British invented it because they used groups in like Saudi Arabia on the Ottomans, yeah. So like they basically wrote the handbook on it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, sabotage and things like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But the railways and all that, yeah.
I wouldn't bother arguing over other IDF terrorists. I'd go straight for the jugular and say, are they committing a genocide? And I think if there's a genocide on the table, everything else is out the window. There's no point talking about discussing or picking the bones off of any subject when there's a genocide going on. I think that is the be-all and end-all of it. Do you know what I mean? For me, that is it.
Now it's becoming the host of the show and now interviewing you. I thought we were being interviewed. Mohammed, you and I are being interviewed. You're not here to interview him.
You're gonna have your chance.
Mohammed, you can put it down.
Don't make him lose control of his own show. You do this all the time. I'm not going to let it happen tonight.
All right, rubbish. Let me ask.
Please have respect for the
No. Stop interviewing the interviewer and be respectful. And be respectful.
Let me respond.
Sorry, is it a terrorist organization?
No.
Why not?
I do not believe
It's
so.
not on the screen, you know, Jed.
You have to let me answer.
Go ahead.
Huh?
The interview, I don't know whether you know that the interview bit isn't on the screen. It's me and yeah, sorry.
Okay, here's my answer to that. When Hamas did what they did, two things. One, Hamas knew exactly what Israel's response would be. They knew they would come incredibly hard back.
I don't absolve them.
Wait a minute. I'm not absolving anybody. I'm not
absolving them.
Yeah, okay.
I'm saying the West Bank is West Hamas.
I know.
West Hamas.
You have to let me answer.
You got 44 children killed like this in the West Bank.
This is ridiculous.
Wait a minute, Rubbish. Let me just answer you quickly.
Go ahead.
I believe Israel has a right to defend itself from after that terror attack.
But can they kill children?
Wait a minute.
Can they?
Wait a minute. Particularly after the Hamas spokesman only last week said that they want to do this again and again and again. That's an existential threat to Israel.
Why don't they fight them man to man? Man to man. Fight them man to man. Why do you have to kill children?
Wait a minute.
Why do you have to
let me answer you, Mohammed.
Why?
Let me answer you.
Of a ratio of 100 to 1, by the way.
Let me answer you.
100 to 1 ratio.
Let me answer you.
Go ahead.
Otherwise, it's pointless.
Go ahead.
So, I agree that Israel must defend itself. I agree they have to get rid of Hamas because Hamas is wedded to an ideology of existentially removing Israel.
Is this acceptable?
Wait a minute. I'm coming to your answer.
Is this acceptable?
I'm coming to your answer.
This is not
This is not even a conversation.
Wait a minute.
Listen, I came all the way from the United States for this debate.
Mohammed Hijab cracks me up. Man just sipped his drink casually like he's terrorizing them.
And he will not let anyone else speak. And if that's how these shows work, no. You are rude, you are a bully, you just are trying to interrupt people. I'm going to have a chance to speak, or there's no point in doing this show. He did this last time and you allowed him to, but I won't allow him to, because I will never.
Can I just say, lad, that I'm a celeb hat's brilliant. Keeps on sitting on both of their heads.
Never be bullied by a bully.
At the moment,
let me be clear.
Wait a minute. No one's allowing me to answer your question.
Go ahead, sir.
And it's this. I believe Israel has a right to defend itself.
Okay.
I agree that they need to get rid of Hamas.
In this way?
Who are terror groups.
In this way?
Well, here's the quandary for me morally, right?
Why is that a quandary, though?
I'll tell you why.
With Hamas, it's not a quandary.
I'll
but
tell
with
you
Israel,
why.
it's a quandary.
Because in war, when you declare war, as Britain did with the Nazis,
100-to-1 ratio.
No,
100
of course,
to 1.
there are
Combatant to
there
non-combatant
are
ratio.
a far higher number of children in Gaza, proportionate to population, than almost anywhere in the world. So when they go after Hamas,
give me a chance.
very sadly, Mohammed, let me finish.
This is because no.
Very sadly,
You are the one who insisted on equal time. I never.
Can you see why there's a war, lad?
Oh, yo. I said, you are the one. You must, yo, man's got this guy like rattled. He just like sounds girly, and he ain't even had a chance to really say nothing yet. He just sounds mad girly already. Oh, this is crazy.
But you will not respect
I will come to you literally in 30 seconds.
He's going to ask you a
in
question.
30 seconds, I'll come to you.
He's going to come to you afterwards.
Let me finish, please. I am
Calm
in charge
down.
here, Mohammed. So my final point on this is, unfortunately, in war, civilians
100 to 1 ratio. 100 to 1 ratio.
Yes.
100 to 1 ratio.
Yes, they get killed.
No, not 100 to 1 ratio. It's an unacceptable ratio.
Get killed.
Piers, listen.
Really, in you come.
You know, Piers, can I say respectfully, and I mean this is no insult.
Nah. This, you got your mic time. Spit facts. Don't now start telling Piers how to run his show, because I can tell where you're going. You want to complain to the ref. Ref, please, like, you get me? You're not doing the job properly. Allow it, man.
I'm amazed that you're intimidated by this man. I feel, well, with all due respect.
Just use, you see, this is the thing. You're not even debating the thing anymore. You just now want to make personal statements about people. You've lost. How have you lost?
If I can speak, I
wouldn't bring him back if
I can speak.
And he raises a very valid question.
No, he does not, because I have. Before he did this debate, he went on X on Twitter.
Yo, Zulu.
Shabbat Shalom, Aki.
Shalom, Ak. What, have you seen this?
Bro, I watched it yesterday.
All you lot was just watching other stuff, except for you could have told me, yeah, let's watch this. You lot just went and watched it on your own. Who didn't watch it?
Everyone's watched it, bro. Everyone.
How many millions? It was like 1.1 when I watched it.
Yeah, it was on like the 900.
What would you have done better, Zulu?
Against the rabbi.
Why would you
As the rabbi?
Against well, you wouldn't really be against Mohammed Hijab in this scenario, would you?
No, not really, to be honest. I mean, it's very clear who's the villain in this story, I would say. But then it doesn't mean that either of them care about us, though, because that's a whole nother layer to it, isn't it?
A whole different debate. That's how. Thank you, Mr. Sarah. You ain't seen it because you was on live with me. You ain't seen it. Yeah, big at yourself. Chill out. Big at the ain't seen it gang. You lot all this way. You lot what was. Anyway, big up. Let's watch some more. Did you enjoy it, Zulu?
Nah, it was hilarious. I'm not even gonna cut.
Well, I'm laughing already. This guy's fucked.
Twitter and say, I'm only doing it if it's equal time. And then he is violating that. I never asked for equal time. I just want to be heard, but he won't even let me be heard. Let me explain something to you. You said in a video the other day, and you can look me in the eye, you said that Jews are now trembling. Muhammad, I am not. No, don't interrupt me. I am not trembling. It's all on my Instagram page. Now, you see this yarmulke? It means that I represent something. I'm an ambassador. You're an ambassador of Islam. You are talking about a religion that started the world's first universities, educated women. Fatima started the first university in the 9th century in Fez, Morocco.
Irrelevant.
Now we have a man who says that he's a representative of Islam.
He's meant to be speaking to you.
He goes to Speaker's Corner. He speaks about whether 5-year-old girls are old enough for sex. He says that gay men are dying of AIDS as a punishment from God. And I'm sorry to have to say this to the listeners, that blood is gushing.
What the hell? This tactic is dead. Is this the American tactic? British people are much better debaters. Standard. We're better.
He does say all that, though, doesn't he? He does say all that.
Yeah, but like you're bringing it up to appeal to the audience. So you've already given up on the debate. You're appealing to the audience to not like him, but you're giving up on the debate because your chance to speak, and you've not addressed Israel and Palestine.
I can't even remember the question.
Are old enough for sex. He says that gay men are dying of AIDS as a punishment from God. And I'm sorry to have to say this to the listeners, that blood is gushing from their backsides. They're better off. You know what it is? Because you are desecrating a great world religion. Now let me tell you why. Let me tell you why it appeals. Why it's here. Because he will defend Hamas. I will. Bring it back to topic. He will defend Hamas's butchery, savagery. He doesn't care that Hamas is an abomination to Islam because Islam.
But he hasn't done
the
that.
children in Gaza are dying because Hamas uses them as bulletproof vests.
Okay.
The United States and France and England said yesterday that the Al-Shifa hospital is a military base.
Okay.
It has a tiny veneer.
Let him have his minute.
It has a tiny veneer of emergency rooms.
Okay. Hold on a minute.
But underneath all of it is a military base.
You have a minute.
And let me tell you something. If it's true that any of these countries care about the Muslims in Gaza because they believe what he's saying, that Israel's killing them, this is a map of all the countries that took place last week in Riyadh to save the Palestinians of Gaza from Israel. Do you know how many? That's Israel, a tiny thing. You know how many of them took in even one Palestinian from Gaza? Zero, nothing. Look at that map. Because they want to. The Arabs want to see. The Arabs want to see Hamas. Don't intimidate me. Don't bully me. Don't intimidate me. I'm not afraid of you.
I've got to be able to ask questions. It's a debate. Let's come back. Let me ask you one specific question which he raised, which I don't think actually is your belief. I don't think you have defended what Hamas.
That guy did so bad in that so-called round. Or that was so bad. Yeah, like, do you know what I mean?
Is that actually true though? Like no Arab countries took in Palestinians?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Sadly, yeah.
Didn't Egypt have open borders or something? Supposedly.
Yeah,
there was.
I think you got to go back.
And there was getting foreign nationals. Mrs. Sarah said that Egypt's borders are open, but someone else said they're not. So I don't know what the truth is. I know that they were open for the foreign nationals to get out.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I remember I was asking, what have they got a list? Like, what? How does this list come? Like, how the fuck? Because they were saying, Palestinians ain't getting up. But then on the other hand, Mrs. Sarah was saying Palestinians don't want to leave. So I don't know what's going on. They're saying we're not leaving. So I don't know if the door's open or not. Someone confirm for me, please.
Martyrdom, lad, isn't it? A lot of Palestinians are martyrdoms.
I mean, it's a bit of a tricky situation. Like, if you were to look at the other side, like if you're Israel, like what do you do in this situation? Obviously, you want to get your get back in it, but like they're hiding behind the civilians. So like, what do you do? Like, it's a very tricky situation. If you are to play into the script, right, it's a very tricky situation.
It is. It's been fact before the war, Zulu, that they are using hospitals as command and HQs. Like, you know what I mean?
And that simply means you go in on foot, then.
But then you risk your own people dying.
Yeah, but that's
what they're doing now, isn't it? It's a full frontal. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, go on. Yeah, that's it. It's a war, isn't it? That's what you got to fucking do.
It's a full frontal attack now, yeah. Because I've seen pictures of the IDF the other day in their parliament. I think they've reached hospitals now. They are literally walking the way from the river to the sea. Do you know what I mean? Madly enough.
Why risk your own when you can just press a button and annihilate a whole army base?
Well, that's one of the other arguments, isn't it? Because they've got air superiority as well. So they've got an air force, the IDF, and they're not using that. They're using artillery, aren't they?
Yeah, the reason is why you don't do that is because there's civilians there, non-combatants, and you got to try and minimize that as well. No, on the humanitarian one. Otherwise, you could have just dropped the fucking nuke on Palestine. Like, obviously, you can't do that.
The problem is the civilians don't want to leave, even though they were given warnings to leave.
Yeah, so what, man? They don't want to leave. Now, what are you gonna do? Just checkmate, innit?
They've made the situation more difficult now for Israel to get their get back.
It is what it is. You gotta go in on ground, bro, and risk getting slapped. You gotta fight like men, innit? You gotta go in. So what you're saying? You're scared to go in because you don't want to take no losses. All right. Well,
exactly.
So then, okay. So then, then you don't mind civilians dying. Simple.
But the thing is,
I
you also
agree,
got
lad. You should be fighting like men on a battlefield. But the thing is, as well, with the Hamas, they won't put a uniform back on, will they? They won't wear their black uniform anymore, so they're dressed in civilian clothes as well. So it's just fucking chaos.
the problem is they had a significant loss on October the 7th. They don't want to lose any more soldiers to this crisis. They're finding the easy way option, which is to just send drone strikes and bombs. And they're probably hoping through terror and fear and through these massive, actions, it will drive people to leave. But it seems like it hasn't driven people to leave. So they're going to have to continue doing what they're doing. And as far as they're concerned, their conscience is clean because they want you to leave, but you didn't want to leave. Either way, they're getting their get back because you can't remember one life of a J is more worth than how many Palestinian civilians, bro. So the fact that that October 7th thing even happened, there's gonna be hell to pay. They're not gonna stop. They're not gonna stop, bro. Honestly, if I was Palestinian, I would just leave. Not to say like, oh, give up, whatever, but like you. First of all, you're innocent in this situation. It's between Hamas and IDF. Like, why should I die between a war for why should I die when there's a war between two people that's got nothing to do with me?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Yes.
They should be allowed in the tunnels. You know, all the civilians should be in the tunnels, and any fighters should be above ground, isn't it? Like
another problem is patriotism, right? Like, oh, I'm Palestinian, or I'm this, or I'm that. We are of this earth. I should be able to move anywhere. Take my family, we'll move somewhere else, live somewhere else. People move around. People have been migrating for thousands of years. Why am I going to die for some land? You know what I mean? That's just my perspective. I might be wrong, but
I hear you.
Like, I'll go to India, man, bro. I'll be Indian then. I'll go to India, bro. Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to die for some land or a name or, you know what I mean, identity. Like, you know what I mean?
But Julie, going back to it, if the borders are closed, you can't walk anywhere, can you? All you can do is sort of get out of the firing line, which you supposedly can anyway, because Israel dropped leaflets and that saying this is getting bombed.
They've told them.
And I've seen a few videos of Palestine where you can see that those letters do go out, because you can see that the bomb that's getting dropped is getting videoed and people are watching the building. I seen a video the other day where there was a building that had like a big mast on the top, and obviously they've been warned because people are like watching it and waiting for it. Do you know what I mean?
They warned them to go, even. They told them to go south. They warned everyone to go.
So they warned the terrorists to go. Big up, everyone.
Big up, Sarah.
Sometimes we have to look at the common sense of this. You're warning the Hamas fighters you're about to bomb them.
Yeah.
So the Hamas fighters, will they not go? Won't they be amongst the people that go? It's counterproductive. It just shows. It's just another sign they don't care about Hamas, bro. You're not bombing your own hostages. You're not going to bomb the people you're trying to save.
Well, apparently they are. Apparently they are.
So they can't use this excuse of you don't want Hamas. What you want is, like you've said many times, you want to clear it out. You're mowing the lawn, as they say. Every few years, we like to mow the lawn. And what they're trying to do is move the Gazans towards Egypt, get them into the Sinai desert, and refuse them the right to return. Just like they did to the Palestinians when they moved them into Jordan and they refused them the right to return. There are millions of Jordanian Palestinians everywhere, even in Dubai. Majority of the Arabic teachers are Jordanian Palestinians that were displaced into Jordan and they can't go back to their country. They actually are not allowed.
Sarah, aren't Jordanians technically Palestinians?
No, the people that lived in Palestine, they were displaced, their houses were robbed, and they were sent into Jordan. If you live in London,
I get that.
And for years, your grandfather, your great-grandfather, your great-great-grandfather had lived there, and a man comes along, kicks you out of your house, and forces you to go to Manchester, that's not justice, bro. And then refuses for you to come back.
Well, they're actually kicking Muslims out of Israel as well now, if they've been found like
Egypt is a very close part of Israel, anyways. No, the Egyptian leader Sisi, his mother's side is Jewish. The guy has very close links with Israel. Like he works with Israel. So there's no point hoping for him to let them in. He doesn't want them in his country.
So Sarah,
He
I
says
couldn't
something
believe
about
one of the arguments that he gave about not letting people in Syria was
he
because of
said that
tourism.
his
It'll
excuse
affect
is we
tourism.
don't want it to be like the Jordan situation. We don't want the Palestinians to be pushed into Egypt and then to be refused entry back to their country. But that's still not an excuse to not let injured people, unless they're foreigners. If you're American or English, you can pass the border. But if you're a Palestinian, you can't really.
So,
So you might be able to bribe your way through little things like that, but they're not allowed to go out really.
Hold on, Sarah. I thought you said the border's open.
The border is open for aid to come in and out. There are people that I've heard that are bribing their way sort of to get out, but it's not open like, oh, any Palestinian can just walk out now. Because he doesn't want them. And if they do leave, they're not going into Egypt. They're just going to stay in the desert. So what's the point? What, are you going to open up a UN camp in the middle of a desert? That's what's going to end up happening. He's not letting them into his country.
But if they stay, they'll be bombed. But Sarah, if they stay, they'll be
And them
bombed.
UN camps never seem to close.
You know, they're in the south. Yeah, they probably will be bombed, but there are those that don't even want to leave. There are those who are openly saying, we're not going to get ran out of our country the same. You're not going to use the same tactics you did with our grandparents by pushing them into Jordan and not letting them back. And then you want to build a whole Nova city, and they're talking about they want to build cities and all types of shit that they planned. And the plan's out there. They want to build a city called Nova City where Gaza is.
But
and you could argue that Hamas abandoned them that by not.
Hamas was created by Israel, so you can't create the
talking.
Frankenstein and complain that the Frankenstein bit your hand off or did something to you. Hamas was created, funded by Netanyahu, especially the man who runs Israel right now. Funded Hamas, supported Hamas, openly encouraged the support and the funding of Hamas. So you can't complain about Hamas. Yeah, I don't want to hear it from you. To be honest, it's your Frankenstein.
It's a tricky situation, man. But
It's very complicated. At the end of the day, man,
these things are all prophesied to happen anyway. So,
do you believe that? Do you believe that's you? Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I've seen loads of people saying it. Like, well, I don't think so.
That's
been trying to listen to Revelations. Tried listening to the Quran for the first time last night. Audiobook. No, genuinely, but there's fucking adverts, so I just cancelled it. I couldn't find one without adverts.
Nah, just read it, bro.
Shalom,
no, I'm not
Shifra.
reading it.
Or Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, brother. Bless up,
Right.
blessings, everyone. Blessings.
Yes, Shifa. Big up, big up. What's good?
I was just listening to the conversation. I find this one quite interesting, but I've tried my hardest not to get too involved with it because obviously, you know, I'm black and that, so these issues don't really involve me.
What about the black Palestinians? You don't care about them?
Well, this is the issue I'd have with you saying that this year is that a lot of these so-called black people don't identify as black, especially when we start getting into Muslim and, you know, certain types of religious types of things.
Okay. So we have to identify with the label black for you to care.
They're going to be something else. So why is it my problem?
Okay. Interesting, man.
One thing I will say that I've noticed that has come strong through the whole war, and I've noticed right around the world, is Islam is a nation. And I know it's been said before, but I think it's so prominent now that it's very much like that.
I don't know if it's a nation.
Islam and Muslims see themselves as a nation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's very confusing because sometimes I get this kind of emphasis that, you know, Islamic people are one people, and a lot of them who have maybe what we might consider black faces might not consider themselves black. And I find a controversy in that, even in the sense of, I'm talking to Sister Sarah now, you know, she's, as far as I know, she identifies as they call Habasha. But how does Islam identify with Habasha? Does it have a care in the world for it? And that's how I'm kind of looking at the thing now, sis, in the sense of...
You said that like a Fed.
I hear you, but I'll just say, brother, let's just be honest. Look, I've looked around me and I see a lot of black faces, and I've noticed a lot of the black faces as we got older.
Explain that to me. Sorry,
don't
bro.
really. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I still read my Bible. I still identify with the Most High. But as far as the religion's concerned, it's like I've had to take a step back because I realized that the people who are controlling it might not have it like my best intentions at heart. I'm just being honest.
But
Yeah,
you
of
know,
course.
Shifra, the term black is a diasporan thing.
Jeez.
Is
I had some
is that
yesterday.
dates? Date? No?
I had some major dates yesterday.
You had what, sorry?
Major dates.
Oh, Madrid, okay. What was I going to say, Shifra? You do know that most non-diaspora black melanated people don't use the term black. They just refer, like if you go to Africa, no one's really, you're not going to meet somebody and say, I'm black. You'll just say, I'm from Ghana, or I'm from this country, I'm from Nigeria, I'm from Ethiopia, and this is my tribe.
Yeah.
Do you know
That's
what?
a European label
that too.
used in Europe. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or America.
I fully accept that terminology as well. And some people identifying, you know, by their landmass X, Y, Z. But, you know, I'm just not with the separatist program. I believe that black is powerful. I believe that, you know, it's something that a lot of so-called black people like myself have stood by for long enough for us to enforce something. But how can we enforce something that we don't enforce and allow people to just, you know, be kind of half-hearted with it? 1 minute you're black, 1 minute you're not. If you're out, you're out. If you're in, you're in. That's how I see it.
But cooperation doesn't require the label black. I can cooperate with you and not label myself black.
I don't know, sis. You see, the thing is, you say cooperation doesn't require labels, but then I look around the world and what I see is armies, and I see troops, and I see colonels and lieutenants and sergeants and all sorts of labels being thrown around and titles. So I would beg to differ on that.
Yeah, but Shifra, do you think all black people think the same? You know what I mean?
No, I don't think all black people think the same. But like I said, I don't think everyone who I would look at and consider to have a black face actually identifies as black. So I have to kind of start drawing a line so I can find out who you are when I'm speaking to you.
Interesting. Zulu, what's your thought on this whole black, or the term black?
Yeah, it's a tricky one because, to be honest with you, the term is kind of like a misnomer. It doesn't really have any like real meaning to it. But we use social construct labels all the time for utility, right? To identify each other, to group each other, to work together for business, for many different reasons. So I think because we are already using these terms, I think it's okay to use the identity marker, like if as long as there's a purpose. Like, what's the purpose of identifying as black, right? Is the purpose of identifying as black to unify with other people who have the same struggle so that you can pick each other up? Then if that's the case, fair enough. But if it's just, you know, to have groups and to feed into this idea of, you know, different races when really there's only one race, then that's where I have the problem. As long as there's a reason, as long as there's a purpose, utility, what's the purpose of identifying as this thing? And then I think that's fine.
Interesting.
And not being funny, Zulu, but think about it. Like every day there's black kids suffering and being kidnapped by systems that don't have no love for them or no concern for their well-being, you know? And it's not making the frontline headline news. But all of a sudden there's war in Israel and Islam, and it's headline, isn't it? So it's like, you know what? You know, I gotta think about us at the same time as I'm seeing these things going on.
I understand that. And like I said, Shifa, we have no, you know, leg in this race. Us that are not part of either side, whether you're, you know, Jewish or Muslim. If you're not of any of those two religions, you probably don't have as much of a leg in terms of like which side to pick, or like you probably have less of a say, right? But I think on a humanitarian, like empathetic side of things, you can still maybe show support, right? But I do understand how us being black and us not having the support for our struggles, it can make us not want to get involved. I understand that, but I think Sarah made a good point. There are a significant amount of black Palestinians that have died, and that even if you look at how Palestine, you know, fought against, you know, invaders and occupiers, a lot of them were black Palestinians. That
the indigenous tribes are black. Like I've met with my eyes when I was in school. There was a girl from the Tarabi tribe, and those were one of the oldest tribes that used to live within that region in the Sinai Desert. And they've literally, before the Ottomans, they were there from the get-go. Like they've been there, they're black-skinned, black brothers and sisters, and they are literally being wiped out, like forced to go to other countries and killed by the Zionists just to wipe them out. Because actually the black Palestinians are more of a threat to them than the other ones, because they are indigenous to the land and they can never deny that. Like, that's not something you can fake or deny or try whitewash. You can't do it. They've got history. They're written in historical books on the Muslim side and the other side. So you can't, do you know what I mean? So when you say, oh, we don't care about Palestinians, this is an Arab problem. There are black Palestinians. They refer to themselves as Palestinians. They are tribes from that landmass.
Like
I
if
wouldn't
you
say
look,
I just
if you look at,
absolutely don't care.
let me give you an example. Can I give you an
I'd
example
be
of something?
hesitant to get involved.
If you look at Fatima, is it Banawani? She was a Palestinian, a militant. She literally fought against the occupation, and she was from Nigeria. She wasn't even like Palestinian.
Yeah, Chad and Nigeria.
Like there's, if you go to Palestine, there's something called African Quarter. There's Africans, like black people there. So I mean, like they literally fought for the freedom of Palestine. So like to say like we should not have any involvement or care about anything at all, I don't know if that's an opinion I can hold, but that's just me anyway. I don't know.
It's one thing when a Zionist denies them to be Palestinian, but it's another thing when you hear fellow black people denying the indigenous people to that land. It's mad. Like they are indigenous to that land.
I think you see, I think that's a misnomer at this point though, because do those people make up the majority of Palestinian or
How about
Palestine?
Palestinian? They are. This is the thing. Palestine
No, I'm
is
just
like
asking. I'm just asking a straightforward question for a straightforward answer. Do they
they're
number the
recognized by
majority?
yes.
They are the majority of Palestine. Majority of Palestine is black.
The majority. Right? They've been wiped out from like.
No, I'm just asking you: is the majority of Palestine black? It's quite a simple question.
No, it doesn't have to be.
No, they're
not.
Well, yeah, well, then, you know,
No, the Ottomans
not
seem well to that.
Not trying to write those people off, but in essence, you know, if we're just talking about those people, maybe my heart goes out to them, and there's a part of me that would get up and want to fight for them. Outside of that box, you can't take me to these other people because, like you said, they're not even indigenous. So what are they doing there?
Well, it's amazing that they're even there, like, because the Ottomans would have castrated them anyway, wouldn't they?
Well, either way, my heart goes out to those black people, and I would want to stand by them in their struggle and their fight. Unfortunately, they're not the majority of the people that's being spoken out for at the moment. That's the truth.
So your humanity is based on skin color, is that?
Yeah.
No, my humanity ain't based on skin color. My humanity is based on, you know, do for others they do unto you, and do unto others as you like them to do unto you.
But then
that's
by
what
that
my
argument,
humanity is based on.
by using that, but Shifa, even if you use that argument, hold on, Shifa, even if you use the argument, what has a Palestinian done to you directly?
No, I'm saying do unto others as they do unto you. So if others do nothing when you know you're in problems, then why are we doing something now?
But what can they do? They can't do anything. What can
what we do?
What can they do? Let's say there was a problem now.
That's what Sarah's just
Shifa, let's say there was a problem now in Jamaica. Yeah, what could Palestinians do to help? They couldn't do shit.
I don't know. You tell me, man. What are they doing, bro? What have they done? What have they done for me lately?
So are you saying that your empathy and your ability to extend humanity is contingent on transactional reciprocity? Like you have to receive it back to show these traits?
I'd say it's more based on you can't save the world if you can't save yourself. Because if you're dead, then how are you going to help anyone else? So we got to help ourselves.
But shouldn't humanity
be... That's what Sarah just said. So you would only save them because they're black?
Yeah, so it's
you're only going to get involved because they're black?
In essence, you got to understand, you see black people, what we know as black people, we're under attack, innit? Every day, all day. It's not just headline news, it's non-stop. So, you know, I've got to protect my ones first because we're under attack, innit? Already. So how am I going to fight
someone else? Shouldn't your humanity be an inherent quality that remains steadfast, Shifa? Shouldn't that quality just be inherent within you and remain steadfast? Even when you're faced, when the world isn't reciprocating it, shouldn't your humanity just be steadfast in any situation?
100%. And why should it? This is the whole point. Why would I be fighting to save a world that ain't got no love for me and I ain't got no love for?
What did you show?
Hold on, Shifa. Obviously, the people who this world is made for need to be the ones saving it, innit?
Shifa, what did you show?
Who's those people, Shifa?
Who are those people? I don't know. Render unto Caesar.
Shifa, what did Yeshua teach, bro?
That's what he taught. He taught render unto Caesar, make him keep his
It's
dirty money.
It's only I know you're smiling.
He
You
didn't
know what
just
else I'm
teach
gonna
that.
say.
He didn't just teach that. He taught a lot of things. Which do you want to refer to a particular teaching?
Unconditional love, bro, is one of the main
Yeah,
things.
humility,
Unconditional love, and that's true. Do you know what? Unconditional love. At the same time, did
So
he
no one has
not
to,
teach? Did he not teach you to love your neighbor?
right. All
All
of
right,
humanity.
Palestine ain't nowhere near the UK right now, B, and it ain't nowhere near Jamaica. So
Yeah, but
I
he
don't
never
know,
said
man.
love your race, did he? He said
Love
love
your
your
neighbor
neighbor.
as
A neighbor can be anything, can't it? A neighbor can be an
Yeah,
opposite.
neighbor.
Love
They're
your
not my
neighbor is
neighbors, though. They're
Shifa,
not my
you don't
neighbors. I
what
don't
do you
know
need to
them.
do for you in order for you to do something good for them, bro?
You don't have
It's
to
not
I
know
know
your
them.
neighbor for
Yeah,
to be a
this
neighbor. You don't
transactional
have to
humanity thing
know
that's
the
going on is
person
not
for
good
it to
like
be a
that.
neighbor.
It's not cute.
He said love thy neighbor. He didn't say love the guy down the street.
yeah,
That's a
man. You
neighbor.
Shifa's here to do what Shifa does, right?
Nah,
That's a
Shifa.
neighbor, lad.
That was
You
funny,
gotta
though.
admit,
That's a
Shifa,
neighborhood.
you gotta admit,
Neighborhood
bro, that's not the way
full
of
of
Yeah.
Yeshua.
neighbors.
Yeah,
What you're
Zulu,
saying,
man.
you have to admit that's not the way of Yeshua, bro. You have to admit that. It's not. What you're saying. It's not.
I don't
But remember, I ain't
understand. Like,
Yeshua.
honestly, this.
Remember, I ain't Yeshua. All I am, I'm a student who's trying my hardest to learn to be like Yeshua. But it's hard, bro.
But
It's hard work
you're
out
right
here.
now. You
I
just
still gotta be me.
demonstrated your humanity and empathy is based on transactional exchanges or expecting reciprocation. I hope I didn't say that wrong. That's what you just
No,
said,
it's based on protecting my own.
which is sad.
It is kind of sad.
You can call it bad, but I'm
If
just
I
gonna
have
keep
something happen
protecting
to
my own,
Shifa,
and
my
you can
brain
do
is
what
not
you're
going to
doing.
think it's Shifa
Especially when
black,
you know it's
Shifa
wrong, Shifa,
white,
like you just
Shifa
said.
Arab. My brain doesn't
How
go
is it
there
wrong
first.
to
Like,
protect your own? Please, hold on, wait a second, heathen. Please explain to me how it's wrong to protect your own.
You even just said, Zulu said, you don't think that's wrong, just focusing on that, and you said, yeah, it probably
I
is
don't
wrong.
think it's wrong.
So you
No, I
acknowledged
don't
it
think it's
yourself, man.
wrong. I
Shifa,
don't think
Shifa,
it's wrong.
No, no, you
He
don't.
asked
No,
me,
you don't. But you
no,
acknowledge
that's
that
not
you
what he
think it
asked
could
me,
be
bro.
wrong.
No, he asked, I'm going to tell you what he asked me. He asked me about Yeshua and what would Yeshua do? And I'm trying to explain to you, brothers, I ain't Yeshua, I'm not him. So please don't get me confused with him, innit? I might take his teachings and I might see the good in them, but the point is, I've still got to live in this world. I've still got to live, not just survive. And not just me, my people also. We got to live in this world, not just survive. So I don't give a damn what's going on with no one else half of the time, because you see what, we got too much going on over here. Maybe when we clear some of the rubble over here and we can, poke our heads out of the dirt, pause, then, at that point, I'll have time for some Palestinian and Israel war. But right now, I don't think as black people, we really got time for it, because we got too much other stuff going on.
My brother, how many times has someone, hold on.
I said Palestinian.
Shifa, how many times has a complete stranger shown you absolute love and they've not asked for anything back? How many times has that
Not
happened to
many
you?
times, bro. I'll be honest, I show more love to strangers than they show to me.
Really?
That's the honest truth, bro. You see me, I'm not the type of person who can walk past a tramp in the street and see him sitting there looking all fucked up and just walk past. Even if he is stink or whatever, I'd have to at least buy him a cup of coffee, buy him something, a little meal, put a $5 in his hand, walk on. Like some woman walked past me the other day, some tramp woman. She looked like she was some kind of stressed out crackhead. She started begging everyone for like a tenner. She was like, like that movie, like Menace to Society, like I suck you for $10 or whatever. Like she was going that deep with it. Do you know what? And I heard her talking to everyone. She looked at me. I just took out a £10 and gave it to her in the hope that she was just going to go away. But the point is, like I said, I feel like I help people more than they help me, bro. That's the honest truth. I'm quite a giving person, but at the same time, I do honestly, take people wholeheartedly for what they show me, innit? If you show me kindness and if you show me, that, for instance, I'm not going to be funny about this at all. Many times I've been around people of what some might identify as different races to black. I just see one race, the human race. So I'm just talking to everyone like we're all on a level. But there's so many times where people from so-called other races have asked me questions where it's like, it enabled that thought in my mind that you saw us as different.
Hold on. You say you only see one race, and then you said you're only focused on things that affect black people.
Yeah, when I say black people, I don't see black people as a race. I see it as an identifier, like a marker. So people started calling us black, and they wanted to put us at the bottom of society. So all of us people that's been, pushed to this this side of society. You know, I feel like we should be sticking together and finding, you know, communal ways of building, you know, a way out of this shithole that they put us in. Pause. But the bottom line, pause, is that, you know, not everyone else seems to identify with us like that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? They might see themselves as different to us, or, you know, they might see themselves as maybe supposedly more privileged, or, you know, they should have more.
Apart from the fact that
I think that's contradictory what you just said.
I ain't gonna even.
I don't think it's contradictory at all.
The fact is, yeah,
Sorry.
obviously, it's gone a bit somewhere else. But the fact is, yeah, like what you're seeing from this conflict is a lot of nationalism, a lot of people like siding with people just on the basis that they're from the same belief or from the same nationality. And I think Schiffer's entitled, you know, in his own way to have that opinion as well. Like, it's not. There's people that are they're just going to sit on the fence with this one. Like, they just don't want to get involved. And I don't think that they should be condemned for that. Like, I know some people go around condemning people for just saying, oh, I'm not really involved. It's nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with my people. I don't think that's something to be condemned. I think that people are entitled to that. They could just say, I don't know what's going on, kind of thing. Like, most people are not really that well informed anyway on this conflict. Most people have never stepped foot in that region, talk to us of even like going to the actual country, like, and they're just speculating based on misinformation from whatever circle they come from. So it's just mad.
And that's just say, yeah, as well,
what
I'm saying at all. It's nothing to do with hatred. It's more to just do with love for self and looking out for self, looking out for my own before I start talking about other people's problems. And my house is still in disarray. I can't do that, bro. That's all I'm really saying. I ain't got a problem with the people of Palestine or the people of Israelia. I haven't got a problem with none of
marched out for Libya. How many Palestinians marched out for Libya? They don't, you know what I mean? Like, there's no. How many of them were vocal?
How many Israelis marched out for Libya, bro? Like, what are you doing?
Not many. Not many.
How many Israelis marched? How many Israelis marched for the Ethiopian women when they were being when eugenics programs were being performed?
Israelis don't give a
how many Israelis marched out for the Yemeni children who were snatched from their parents and literally illegally adopted by Ashkenazi Jews? I don't remember any.
Yeah. How many Africans have been deported?
This is gonna go.
How many Israelis marched out for the Africans held in concentration camps in the desert? Let's just move on.
What are you talking about? Concentration camps? At the end of the day, the biggest.
Do you mind if I ask you a question before the shoot? I've got to go. Sorry to butt in there, lad. It's a little bit of a random one, but like I was saying, I was listening to the Quran last night. What does it mean when it says Allah is Lord of the worlds, and it's plural, worlds? I thought it was mad the way it said it.
The Alameen. The Alameen is anything.
In the opening, literally, like in like the opening paragraph or whatever.
Yeah, I know it's Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. All praises to the Creator, Lord of the world. It means, first of all, there's a lot of things that are from the unseen. There's a lot of knowledge that we don't know, that Allah only knows. We only know that which we live in, which is this earth. We can't say for certain how much of the creation is out there, how much Allah created, but we say, generally speaking, the world is anything outside of the Creator is known as the Alameen. It's the created things. You're right. Some people call it universe, whatever. I don't know about these terms, but I would say
the heavens.
Everything from the creation outside of the Creator is part of the Alameen, or the world.
Why didn't you ask Why didn't you ask Zulu? You seem to.
Yeah, go on, Zulu.
No, I was affirming what you're saying.
No, that makes sense.
Even in Genesis 1, heaven is plural. It doesn't say God created the heaven. It's heavens. Hashemayim.
Yeah, heavens. Yeah, true, lad. Yeah,
it's plural.
So where we live, our realm is part of it, but there's loads of other realms, there's other creations, whatever. And people use terms like universe, this, that, the third. But yeah,
it's the seven heavens.
Sweet. Go ahead. I'm gonna have to shoot, but nice one for having us, and you're gonna have a fun time watching this, like.
Oh yeah.
I'll see you in a bit.
See you, bro.
That's it. On October the 7th.
Yeah.
I think you share
Are they evil?
Unless I'm wrong.
Are they evil? Are they evil? Are they evil? Are they evil?
Rabbi Shmuley,
Hamas
you're now doing what you accused him of doing. So let me ask you, what is your view of Hamas post October 7th?
I think that they, just like anybody else, have to be examined. Have to look at all.
What's your opinion about them?
Yeah, I think that here's my opinion. Let me be straightforward about this, right? Anybody who kills civilians, anybody, whether it's the IDF, I'm consistent in this manner. If it's proven beyond reasonable doubt that these people have killed civilians in both of our faith traditions, in Islam and Judaism, in the Quran is mentioned, in the Prophet, he said it himself, you cannot kill a woman, you cannot kill a child. I condemn them. I condemn them. That's what I do. Straight away, whether he's Muslim, whether he's non-Muslim, whether he's Christian or anybody else. I've already said that. So I'm not being...
So you heard what he said there. Anybody that kills children, he condemns. 11,000 babies have been killed in Yemen. Have we got any clips of him condemning Saudi Arabia or campaigning against Saudi Arabia?
That's actually a really good point.
Yeah, but you can't call out every single catastrophe where babies are being born.
Here we go. The apologists is coming.
To call out every single... You know how many babies are being aborted in abortion clinics?
Brother, did you not hear what he said? Do you need to hear it again?
You're just nitpicking, bro. Like, come on, man.
It's not nitpicking. It's not nitpicking. At the end of the day, he's campaigned strongly. He's been very vocal on the Israeli conflict. 11,000 babies have been killed in the Yemeni conflict, or children rather, have been killed in Yemen. That's actually more than Israel, but he's more vocal about Israel.
Was that through bombing, Reggie? That
Oh, so it's the method of killing.
Hold on. Was it through famine? Because there's a lot of famine out there. Or was that 11,000 via bombing? And could you please bring your source for this number that you've given? 11,000.
11,000. You want a source, so you don't believe?
No, a source that through bombing, 11,000 children were killed.
Bombing? Did I say through bombing? I said 11,000 babies
through famine? Through sanctions by the West as well. That involves sanctions by the West.
The apologists. If this was Israel, we wouldn't need to do all this. What do you call it?
You know what the problem is? You've Googled numbers to for
your
bias.
Don't worry, we'll go.
But you don't really understand the number. Is the number via bombings, or is the number via the famine situation that has been there for ages? Even prior to the war, there was famine.
Okay, so if it's not
there
by bombing,
sanctions on that country, economic sanctions.
Do you want to find out
if getting a lot of the times it's a complex situation. So what are you talking about?
It's now complex. Okay. Do you want me to find out whether it was by a gunshot?
Yeah, that 11,000 children were killed via bombing. Yeah, please.
Bombing or
no, by bombing. Because we're talking about the war right now. We're talking about bombing, right, in Israel and Palestine. So can you bring your evidence for the children that died by the bombing and the quote unquote war?
Okay. Can you tell me how the method of killing was in Israel? Because you've been very vocal yourself about how many.
You said 11,000 children have been killed.
Can you do the same?
What you're trying to insinuate is, do we condemn? Does he condemn Saudi? But I'm asking you, where did you get this number that 11,000 children died because of the bombing that the Saudis are doing?
UNICEF
said that. All right, let me go check it out. I'll try and find it, but it would be nice if you could put the source in the back as well.
UNICEF.
UNICEF.
Now
what's the source in the back, man?
Yeah, pause on that as well. Yeah.
Now, do you know I had a question to ask that I forgot to ask?
See, the source is in the back now. But maybe as well, when she has the chance, she can also put...
that was quick, Randy. That was quick.
Numbers for Israel.
No, well done. Okay. Gives me time. I really got it.
Efficient out here.
11,000 children died via bombings. Hold on.
Bombing? I didn't say they died by bombing. Like you're so fixated on the method of killing. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
we're not talking about war. What are we talking about?
You go and find me the method of killing of the people that died in Israel. Then let me put you to the same task or the same standard that you're trying to put me to.
I'm not making any. You're the one making big boy claims with numbers.
How many were killed by bombs, and how many were killed by maybe a gun, and how many were killed by maybe something falling on their head because of the war? You know what I mean? You go and find me how many in Israel.
Yeah, you tried it. You tried it, bro. You tried it.
I just brought out the number that have been killed as a result, and I also but because you are so much wanted to defend Saudi Arabia and defend Mohammed Hijab.
We don't care about Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has committed a lot of crimes.
Care about the children.
Saudi Arabia has committed a lot of crimes, but a lot of evangelical Zionists like yourself love to mention Saudi Arabia like they are representations for Muslims. The Saudi
I
leader is an
prove my point.
individual that will be held accountable on his own. He is not
I
a
prove my point.
representation for any Muslim. Every
I prove
Muslim
my
walks
point.
on this earth on their own. They collect their rewards on their own. They collect their sins on their own. They're held accountable on their own. Right? It's very simple. Saudi doesn't represent me. I don't represent Saudi. Saudis can drink, kill, murder. They can do whatever they want. They will be held accountable on their own. Very simple. So amalgamating people's sins and rewards. We're not all one. We're not going to be judged together. Very simple. Drop the evangelical Zionist propaganda you love to push.
Evangelical Zionist. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
you're
Like
an evangelical Zionist.
United
Cool.
Nations
We'll talk
again
about that
as
another
well.
time.
United Nations. More than 11,000 children killed or injured in Yemen conflict. Again. Yeah. So we can get various different sources that highlight the amount of
context. Was it famine? Again, what's the context?
Maybe you can go and do some work yourself. Like,
shut up, man.
Let's
play the video, man. Don't pause it again if you're gonna say something smart, bro. Like, honestly, because you're just dumb right now.
Please. You know, you've been talking. You never bring any Dalil, but to say,
Okay, so it says conflict, but I'm not seeing Saudi mentioned. You do know there's a civil war against the Shiites and the Sunnis are killing each other on the land as well, but there doesn't seem to be a Saudi. So where are you talking about the civil war that's happening? Are you talking about the civil war, including the Saudi fighting them? What are we talking about in this? Because it doesn't say anything. It just says conflict. They haven't specified Saudi.
We are talking about the conflict, which involves Saudi.
Which conflict? The civil war? The Saudi against the Yemenis? The Saudis against the people on the border in the Saudi area? What is this document talking about? Help me out.
You can read as well. You're very educated.
It just says conflict. That's what I'm saying. It's a vague term.
Have a look at it, and you can.
You made the claim that the Saudis have caused 11,000 children to die. Conflict.
They're complicit.
It's not specific.
They
are
are
they talking about
complicit,
the civil war, or are they talking about the Saudis against the Yemenis in this article that you put in the back? I'm asking you, the person who bought me the article and made the claim.
The war that is also the war that is involving Saudi Arabia.
So where's the word Saudis? Please open the document and find me the war where it mentions Saudi, because I can't seem to see it, and I'm literally skimming it right now.
God. Here we go.
It doesn't say Saudi.
We're going to semantics. Okay, the Saudis are not involved.
No, it's not semantics. Guys, help me out. If there's a civil war happening, and if there's a war against two countries, you need to be specific. Who is killing these 11,000 children?
There's a Saudi-led coalition.
You said it's the Saudi.
Saudi-led.
Saudi-led
coalition.
Oh my.
Okay, here we go.
The UNICEF article says Saudi-led coalition.
Saudi-led coalition. It is a Saudi-led coalition in.
No, where does it say it on the article, please? Am I like?
Oh my God, the article doesn't say everything.
We're going in circles. This guy just stopped the video to make a comment that didn't even make any sense. No context behind it. 11,000 kids die. Kids die all the time. Kids die all the time. Do you want Mohammed Ajab to call out every single kid dying in the world? Do you think he has the omniscience to do that? That's so dumb, bro.
Here we go.
I'm going to put the article in the chat for people to find the Saudi coalition mentioned in this. There's the article, guys. Chat folks, go and find where it says Saudi-led coalition.
Amnesty International. Another one. There we go. She wanted Saudi in there, so we got another.
Yeah, 11,000 children killed by the Saudi coalition.
We got another report. She wanted Saudi to be mentioned, so we changed another criteria, another premise that was added to her list. Notice.
No, you made the claim. You said Saudi killed 11,000 children.
Notice.
I'm saying, where is it on the article?
Last time when I asked her for Dalil, and she ran off for weeks, and without providing Dalil again, she is not providing one piece of Dalil. And even with her what do you call it? Her lapdog Zulu here, they both haven't provided one piece of evidence.
Wow.
Why are you going to go there?
It's mad.
Listen, you're lucky it's Sabbath. You're lucky it's Sabbath, yeah? You're lucky it's Sabbath. Come on, jump on tomorrow.
Don't say anything. Don't ruin it, Zulu.
Come on tomorrow night. Don't disrespect me. Don't disrespect me.
Okay, so this article that you put up is going to say that 11,000 children were killed in the Saudi. Okay, let me read it. It should mention these 11,000 children killed by the Saudis.
That's
Hold
just
on.
true. You see what I mean? When they wanted to protect their own, this is why Shifa, when he says that he looks after his own, he wants to take care of his own first. You can see the Muslims look after their own. All this tap dancing just to protect their Islamic brothers.
Bro, there's
Even though they
Palestinian
know-
Christians. You don't care
even
about the
though they know-
100 and hold on,
even they
dude.
know- if they
Shifa,
really,
not
if
Shifa.
they really look, if they really cared about humanity, if it was just about humanity, would they be trying to different?
We've condemned Saudi
would they
for
really
indiscriminately bombing Yemenis.
really?
We've condemned it. We don't support it. Muslim, you won't find a Muslim supporting Saudi bombing. Most
Would
Muslims
they
will tell
really?
you that
Would
the amount of
How
aggression
many
that
of
they're
you protested?
using is
How
not
many of you protested?
required for the situation they have. They do not need to bomb the Yemenis like that. We
How many-
recognize that. We
how many-
recognize that MBS does not follow the religion when he does his little war antics. He does what
here we
he
go.
wants. He's a man who follows his desires and he doesn't represent us. I'm saying
How
that
many?
very clearly. Now, the document you
many?
brought clearly says 127 children were killed. There is no 11,000 children killed by Saudis.
Again?
The other document didn't even mention Saudis. Now, you made the claim Saudis killed 11,000 children. What are you saying about it? I'm saying you don't have evidence for this claim. It's Zionist, evangelical propaganda that you use to divert the attention away from what we're doing. Now, let's get back to the video because your evidence is
It's crazy.
Amen, Sarah. Amen. Let's get back to the video. Man.
Yeah, nice try.
Yeah, mute your mic, please. Thank you.
Being inconsistent here. My question is, if that is exactly the barometer that we're using, if that's the moral reasoning that we're using, then we have to say, look, if you have a 100-to-1 ratio, and that's what it is, a 100-to-1 ratio. And do you know how I got this figure? I got this figure from the IDF themselves because they have reported to
but let me ask you this. Does Hamas deserve to stay in power after what they did?
I don't think we should have Hamas in power. What I think we should no, let me tell you. We should have.
How do you get rid of them?
We should have a Palestinian Authority with bigger armies and airports with proper tanks and with airplanes like every country in the world.
You know what? You might be right. But
absolutely, they won't allow it.
How do you get
the Israelis won't allow
How do you get rid of Hamas?
What you don't do, I can tell you for a fact, is try and kill 30,000 of them with a 100-to-1 ratio. Because if you do that, then you're committing genocide. Because you'd have to kill 3 million Palestinians.
Rabbi Shmuley,
do you even know the definition of genocide?
I haven't said genocide.
What's it? You just said it.
No, I said
if you. What is the definition of genocide? What's the definition?
I said if you do.
You always claim to be an academic. You're always carrying your Oxford credentials. What is the definition?
All right,
conditional.
Genocide. You've noticed that he's been called out on that word genocide, just like a certain member of the panel also was called out in genocide. And you see how he didn't want to commit to that word? It's funny, you know, this taqiyya that goes around and goes unmissed. I don't like he's just about to be pulled up on what the definition of genocide is. And he's tried to backtrack immediately. Just wanted to point that out. For those that still run with that word.
Genocide is where
you'll be genocidal.
Genocide is where you target an ethnicity for extinction. Ethnicity, side, murder.
Yes, if you do it. If you kill 3 million Palestinians, are you genocidal? If you kill 3 million Palestinians, are you genocidal?
There are 1.8 million Muslim Arabs who live in total peace in Israel as equal citizens. In fact, Israel practiced reverse discrimination against the Jews because the Jews are conscripted to fight Hamas. So, if Israel, excuse me, no, you will not interrupt me. If Israel, you will not interrupt me. You will not interrupt me. You will not interrupt me. You will not bully me. You will not interrupt me. I am not afraid of you. Stop saying the Jews tremble. Now, let me be clear.
You see how hilarious that is? Like he's running away from the committing himself to the term genocide, which we've seen on these platforms for weeks. People have been trying to use that word genocide, and I've had to school them many times. And here they are. Here you go. Even a great academic, someone who's been to university, probably even more qualified than our teachers that come on the panel here. You know what I mean? Here he is running away, trying not to commit to that word. And the rabbi was about to school him, and see how he's interrupting him because he knows he made a foolish mistake, even uttering the words. Just like a lot of people here, but there they go. They keep quiet. They run away for weeks. They know full well that they messed up. You know what I'm saying? And the capers as well that were silent when they were making these mistakes. Where are they? It's mad. Why? Anyway. You can play if you want. Yeah, 1.8 million Muslims are living in Israel. But if you listen to the propaganda of the jihadists on these platforms, you'll be led astray. And this is how they create extremism. This is how they radicalize people, by spreading falsehood and propaganda. I've said it here before.
Okay, so here's the definition of genocide. Yeah, what is there an issue with this?
Well, firstly, deliberate. I wouldn't say what they're doing is deliberate. I would say it's if it was deliberate, what they would do is probably tell them not give them any warning at all, and then just drop bombs on their head. You get what I'm saying? But they actually have warned them, get out of the way, because we're trying to do an operation in this area in order to help them to preserve them out of Palestinians.
What do you guys say? Agree, disagree?
Yeah, I think maybe yeah, let me me up.
Yeah, that's not helping. What's going on? What is this not something that we should be talking about? At least give me a warning, like what's going on there? Seriously.
I mean, okay. Let me just say this, right? Like, you can apply the definition, I guess, to like the core of the IDF, but like in terms of like the situation contextually, I would say it wouldn't be classed as a genocide because it's retaliation and they've warned them. So it's not like they're just killing indiscriminately. There's supposed to be an aim to kill the terrorist group.
Okay, that's the title of the operation, but the practice and the carrying out of the operation, the dropping bombs. If Mohammed Hijab is correct with the numbers of like 100 to 1, if you know that your operations are costing 100 civilian lives to one Hamas operative, then that is deliberate.
But is the intention to eliminate Gazans or to eliminate Hamas? I know the end result.
But it's like this. It's like this, yeah. If I have an orphanage full of kids, yeah, and the orphanage becomes infested with vermin, cockroaches, something, yeah, bed bugs, yeah. Do I spray the harmful? Do I spray the harmful solution to get rid of the bed bugs, knowing that some children could die?
Children.
But if you tell the kids to come out and they don't want to come out,
yeah, some are scared, some are not listening, some are being stubborn. So I'm like, fuck it, I need to get these bed bugs out, so I'm spraying anyway. Ain't that deliberate? If there's kids in there that die, even if I'm giving them ample warning, am I not still deliberately allowing kids to die by my actions? Because I know it beforehand.
Well, it depends how you perceive it. If you feel that, okay, if those bed bugs say they multiply and then they're going to create more of an issue or more harm to you, so you need to do it quickly, and then they still don't meet the deadline, and therefore you have to act, then it's like you did what you had to do.
Once the casualties are come on, bro. I don't know. Well, yeah, I hear you. It's your urgency and that, but like knowing beforehand that what you're gonna carry out is gonna leave child casualties, infanticide. It's nuts. I couldn't really be making decisions like that on a.
So have you? What if we know that children. Okay, children. There's been speculation that even some children can pick up weapons in these conflicts.
Oh, I knew you were gonna do that.
And cause harm. We know that there's children that even strap themselves with bombs, and they can cause significant harm. They run into the groups where there's soldiers or whatever, and then they'll blow themselves up. What would you do in that situation? Are you gonna say all the children? Therefore,
Well, you got to kill that child. You got to kill any combatant, pregnant woman, whatever. They pose a physical threat to you. You got to kill them. If that's the case, come on. But is that what you're trying to imply is the case in Gaza?
In some cases, but apart from that, there have been cases
Where's
where
the evidence? Where's the evidence? Where's the Don't just do that. Where's the evidence?
there have been cases where they hide weapons in civilian areas, i.e., the hospital, under the hospital. And
that was debunked. That was debunked. They found
there's
that there was the guy was pointing to a calendar talking about these are fighters. That was debunked. The tunnel they talked about, we found out was an elevator. There was another video that was made by one of their politicians, and we found out it's some building in Sweden. We know the lies, like the amount of debunked fake news.
Because you go to Islamic sources, pro-Islamic sources. The fact is, if you
they put up tweets and they take their tweets down. Biden had to take back statements he made because the Zionists got him into a situation and they made him make statements about certain kids being beheaded, but then he had to take that statement back. Why did the president of America take the statement back if it's true?
See, the thing is, everybody here.
What happened? Why did the president take back the statement about the 42 children being beheaded, or 45 or whatever it was?
That's another. You're going somewhere else. But the fact is, they've confirmed that there are, what do you call it, like bases under the hospitals. The U.S. government has confirmed that there are weapons under the hospital, so they can hide amongst and hide military operations among so-called innocent settings or innocent people. So we've seen this.
So they're gonna. So do the bombs affect the tunnels under? Like, does it actually get to them? If they're all under the ground, how is that going to impact them by bombing what's over the ground?
I don't understand that. I don't actually know clearly what their strategy is of bombing what's over the ground, but as I understand it, they're conducting a military operation. There's going to be some bombings.
What they need to do is conduct it on foot. That's what they need to do. They need to stop throwing bombs in the air and pressing buttons, and they need to come on foot, like the trained soldiers they are, these international trained terrorists, go on foot and fight, just like they did before 7th of October. They knew how to pull up to houses and raid them. They were very confident doing that. So what they need to do is go back to doing that and stop killing people that have nothing to do with this. That's what they need to do.
No, none of us are.
Hamas hasn't changed. The same Hamas are there that were there when they were raiding houses. So you were brave enough to raid houses prior to the 7th of October, but now you can't enter by foot. Make it make sense.
Yeah, I think they have to use a number of different strategies. I don't think they could just only go by foot. There must be
not throw bombs that then cut off limbs, like in hospitals.
The hospital one.
We're not going to excuse that nonsense.
The hospital ones, I don't know much about the hospital ones. I know that they said there's some that have weapons underneath, some that are like facilitating Hamas fighters. And I don't know how many of the hospital. There's some they said that even Hamas are the ones that blew them up. So there's a mixture of different stories.
So they're going to bomb where the hostages are. Are they trying to save the hostages or kill them? What are they trying to do exactly?
They said that the bomb just went off.
Common sense to go on foot and do an operation on foot to ensure the hostages don't die. Doesn't that make more sense? And being one of the biggest military group, they have the weapons, they have the finances, they have the equipment. They can go on foot. But that's not their intention, Reggie. They don't want to save the hostages. They want to wipe out the people on that land. And they don't care if their people are collateral damage. They don't care.
They don't want to wipe out the people of the land. If they wanted to wipe the people out, they would have wiped them out by now. They wouldn't have been telling them to get out, to move.
They are currently wiping them out.
No, they've asked them to move. But even your Islamic brothers, the Egyptian that's sitting on the panel of the show that we're seeing, his country have closed the door for these refugees.
Yeah, his mum's Jewish. His mum's Jewish.
You know what I'm saying? So they are also...
His maternal side are Jews. His maternal sides are Israelis. We don't care what Sisi does.
His maternal side are Israelis.
Sisi kills his own people. Sisi kills his own people. We don't care what Sisi does. He doesn't represent us. So stop saying Islamic. Sisi kills his own people. He's a dictator to his own people.
The Egyptian man.
Yeah, the Egyptian leader. Sisi kills, violates, terrorizes his own people.
You see all these things that you lot saying. If they try and do, try and save you lot from these dictators, you lot will then say that they're wicked West. The fact is, yeah, they're wicked until they try and they come into your lands, and then they come and liberate you from these people. These people, if they're creating a genocide, need their brothers that are surrounding the areas, Jordan, etc., Egypt, to be able to flee to there. But obviously, even the countries surrounding don't see them as as innocent, and they see the dangers of letting them in.
Why don't the Europeans take back their European Jewish brothers and sisters?
Back to where they're from the they're from the
Russians
region.
take back the Russian Jews, you know.
We've done this
since
dance
Israel's so
before,
dangerous.
Sarah.
Take back the Russian Jews. Take back the Polish Jews.
We've done this
Like,
history
save your
lesson.
brothers. Save your brothers that are so terrorized in Israel.
We've
Why
done
don't
this
they
history
create
lesson
refugee
before.
programs for them?
They're living very comfortably and nicely in Israel. They're one of the most developed
They're
places.
not under threat. They're not under threat.
They're one of the most developed places there. Instead of
So
spending
they're
money
not
like
under threat then.
under threat,
So why are they in a war?
they're taking care of their business. They're clean. They're cleaning up house. Huh?
Honestly, be honest, Reggie. If a house contains your people and the hostages you want to save, why would you bomb it? Common sense, Reggie.
They haven't been. They didn't like, as far as I understand, they haven't been bombing hospitals. They have been.
No, Reggie, listen to me. Hamas has the hostages, right? Hamas. Yeah. Okay, you're trying to get these hostages.
Not necessarily.
Why would you bomb them?
Not necessarily. They're not saying that they're trying to get hostages as per se. They're saying that they're trying to rid the place of Hamas. So there's multiple objectives. One of them would be to get the hostages, but if that doesn't happen, they are trying to make sure that they rid the region of Hamas.
But that might cause your hostages to die. Are you still going to continue with the operation?
Yeah, but let's be real. There's no hostage negotiations. Personally, hostages are pointless. Hostages are pointless in this at this moment. I don't even get why. I don't see why we believe Hamas are holding hostages. For what purpose?
No, but that's their argument. That's my point. That's their argument for this whole thing. If you ever ask them, they'll say, we're trying to free these hostages. But you're bombing them.
I don't know. I think I kind of agree with Reggie when he says they're talking about removing Hamas. I think that's what I've been hearing. I don't really hear about, like, you get me? They reported they
don't
found
want
the
to
body of
ceasefire until these hostages are quote unquote left alone. But you don't care about the hostages. You're not trying to save the hostages.
This is not about just,
it's not about the hostages.
They're not going to. Even if they release the hostages, there will be no ceasefire until they feel confident that they've finished the activity that they want to do and made, what's the word? Demobilize the enemy, so that they feel more safer. Like this is quite clear. I wouldn't say it's about getting the hostages. The hostages could even be dead for all they know. Like, you know what I mean?
All right.
Interesting.
All right.
And on that tequila, that you tried to pull with, go ahead.
Go for it. Go for
it. That 300 or 400 black people that you and Zulu started talking about that live in Palestine. That was very slick,
You said it was 400.
Bro, go. Like, let me give you something to go and do. Go and check how many black people live in Palestine. This should be quite easy. It should be quite easy. At least do one, bring some piece of evidence before the end of the show. Where there's like, for the audience, there's like 400 black people, and you see how they tried to make them a source, a source of to appeal, to shift a sentiment, right?
Afraid of stop saying that Jews tremble. Now let me be clear. Let me be clear.
If you shout over each other.
Well, then you need to control your guests with all due respect. Okay, he said equal time, and there's no equal time. Now
there's no equal time.
If Israel was interested in a genocide of the Palestinians, why do they have 1.8 million equal Arab Muslim citizens who are in the Israeli Supreme Court, who are 1/3 of the medical profession? Do you know that an Arab judge put the president of Israel in jail for accused rape? That was Moshe Katsav. That's how little Israel's an apartheid state, genocidal state. This man sitting next to me, Mohammed Hijab, will not distinguish between self-defense when Hamas comes to brutalize and murder your people versus when an army like Britain, like France, stops
All right, but Rabbi Shmuley,
retaliate
Can we go
to
for the-
simply
can we
protect
go back
their
to the
Rabbi Shmuley,
rights.
I have to
You
say-
don't believe the Jews should have a right to defend
Rabbi
themselves.
Shmuley,
Say it
Don't
outright
say
then.
that.
Then say it.
The Jews have the right to defend themselves.
They do.
Yes, they do.
So
of
that's
course.
why we have to go.
Everybody has a right to defend
So that's why
themselves.
we have
Jews
to
have
go
the right
into
to defend
Gaza to
themselves.
stop Hamas.
Yes, they can go to Gaza and stop Hamas.
But
No, they
Rabbi
can go in, but
Shmuley,
don't. No, hey, hold on. Let me tell you my position. Let me tell you my.
So they can go in. Thank
He
God.
asked me a question.
Go
Can I
ahead.
answer, can I answer it? Yes, they can go into even fight. Even Abu Ubaidah, the general of Hamas, he said, "Nahnu fi intidharikum" in Arabic. We are waiting for you. That's why he's being said. Hold on. You've asked me a question.
Go ahead.
They do have a right. What I've been advocating all along is face-to-face confrontation. What I'm against, hold on, excuse me. What I'm against is 100-to-1 ratio, because if you have 100,
we're going to come to this in block two.
All right. Okay, fine.
Hamas is hiding under hospitals.
Okay.
What face-to-face confrontation? Hamas is shooting children who are going south.
I'm okay with face-to-face
Block
confrontation.
two
I like it.
Block two is
It's the honourable way.
Block two is exactly this question.
Go ahead, let's go.
My only observation,
He hasn't had
Rabbi
to do
Shmuley, so far, you're being more personal and ad hominem than he is.
With all due respect, I think that's extremely unfair.
Well,
Because
you are.
every time I say anything, no, listen.
And you keep answering for him, when in fact, when you actually ask him questions.
What's going on? Yeah, he's a mess. He's a mess. Man's playing rings around him. Man's running rings around him.
Because
he
he
gives
won't
us
answer.
answers.
Huh?
This is the way that both of them generally they like to approach debates. So there's no surprise that it's kind of like all over the place.
Shmuley's feminine, bro.
Well, when Hijab wants to start his own, he's a bit calmer today, but when he wants to start as well, he's quite similar.
If Muhammad Hijab wants to be a representative and ambassador of Islam, then he has to take responsibility for his position.
I don't want to be any of that.
He actually said that
I
Islam
represent
believes in death. You're not going to beat us because we want to die. We're
All right.
prepared to lose thousands
Rabbi
of
Shmuley,
people.
we're taking
Is
a break.
Islam really a religion of death?
We're
You
taking
are
a
a
break.
poor ambassador of your faith.
Hey.
You believe in martyrdom.
Of course.
Do you want to be a martyr?
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to die fighting the Jews?
I didn't say Jews. Who said Jews?
Okay.
Do you know
you want to be a martyr where? What does it mean?
Yes.
Martyr means someone who dies for his
Muhammad
faith.
told us, "Man qutila duna malihi fahuwa shaheed." Whoever dies defending themselves, defending their wealth,
Is that what you
is a
want?
martyr. No.
Do you want to die defending Islam, but do you want Islam to be a religion of peace? You want it to be a religion
Hold
of
on.
peace?
This child for us is a martyr.
You're right.
Do you agree or not?
Because
Do you agree or not?
Hamas is
Do you agree
using
or
him
not?
as a human
This is-
shield.
Really?
He is. Yes,
Just like
Hamas
you-
is hiding
okay.
behind him.
Let's go
Correct.
to the next section.
Condemn
All right.
Hamas.
All right. Let's time out.
Come on,
Let's try and not talk over each other because the viewers can't
Hang
hear.
on,
Right?
hang on.
I don't-
you see these Abduls, they always talk about this martyrdom. But if they really
He didn't bring it up. He didn't bring it up. He didn't bring up martyrdom.
I know he didn't, but he clarified, right? And he said that
Yeah, but you can't say they always talk about it. It was the.
And who's up?
All right. I've heard a number talk about
these
martyrdom.
Abduls. What's wrong
Being
with
ready. Zuli, you got something to say?
Bruh. Yeah, your obsession is mad. But anyway.
I'm discussing the topic. It's not an obsession. If you got nothing to say on the actual topic, then why are you on the panel? It doesn't make sense. You're only here to rebuttal. That makes sense. Anyway, the fact is, yeah, he's talking about martyrdom, and 300,000 went and marched in where was it? They marched in London anyway, and they, if they really were on this martyrdom stuff, why are they not ready to like go there and to the belly of the beast? You know what I mean? If that's the most honorary thing to be doing, like dying in the cause. Dying while defending righteousness. It makes no sense. But anyway, just on that point.
I don't mind the passion. Sure. I don't mind the debate. I don't mind the fire. I do mind if we can't hear what you're saying. It's pointless.
Yeah, let's do the minute.
Let's go to the second topic, right? This time,
Has he had his minute, by the way?
Rabbi Shmuley, you will go first with a minute to say what you want to say, and then Muhammad, Hijab, you'll get yours. So the theme is this, and the question is this for Block 2. Has Israel gone too far in its response to the October the 7th terror attacks? Okay, Rabbi Shmuley, you have a minute starting now.
I just came here by taxi and passed a statue of Winston Churchill. That's in the lifetime of our parents, okay? He is the greatest British statesman of the 20th century. You know what he did when he had a genocidal threat, knowing that Hitler wanted to eviscerate, annihilate Britain? He carpet bombed all of Germany, Dresden, Essen, Hamburg, Israel has not even gotten close to that. Israel does not send its Air Force to carpet bomb cities. It sends in its military. I have a friend who died, six children, 39, because he was personally trying to stop a Hamas terror tunnel. Israel is surgical. Israel is only going after the fighters. Israel has opened humanitarian corridors for the Palestinians to go south. Hamas shoots them and makes sure they don't go. Hamas builds its military structures. Right, Shifa Hospital is this much hospital, and it's this much military. They love using Palestinians. And that's why they've stolen their money. They got about $16 billion from the international community. There isn't one bomb shelter in Gaza. They don't care about the civilians at all. Israel's doing the right thing.
Mohammed, you have a minute.
What I'm saying is the 100 to 1 ratio comes from the following figures. We know that 10,000 civilians have died. Of them, according to the IDF, as reported by The Guardian, 60, dozens, they say, about 60 Hamas died, which we're being liberal by saying 100 to 1 figures. For every one Hamas, you have to kill 100 civilians. That's effectively what we're saying. If the trajectory continues as it is, then you have to kill 3 million Palestinian civilians in order to kill 30,000 Hamas fighters. If you want to extinguish them, eviscerate them, annihilate them, destroy them, you have to do that. Now you have Herzog, who is the president that you interviewed, saying that all Palestinians, they are responsible. This man is being more slippery. He's being more slippery than the lubricants that he sells in his daughter's sex shop. And that's the reality of the situation.
What the hell just happened? Nah, you gotta rewind that.
Look at his face is smiling. Look at Shmuley's face. He's smiling.
Oh, nah. Did I just hear that right?
What kind of rabbi is selling sex lubricant? Man.
Hold on. Was that actually real? Was it like just a?
Nah, it's real. It's real. You know, some sort of Kabbalah ritual or something. I don't know.
Oh my god, this should have been on headphones. Why am I not wearing headphones? Oh my god.
Yeah, trust me, it gets worse. It gets worse, bro.
Oh my god, I need to get my headphones. Hold on.
It gets worse, bro. It gets worse. Mad.
I hit the like button, family.
Nah. Imagine I had to quickly just turn it. What the hell? What
Yo, crazy. Hey, yo, please slap the like button. Yo, I'm not even gonna lie. So, yeah, obviously, in a way, that's not an ad hominem. There's another word for what that is, yeah, because it's literally irrelevant.
That was insane. That was
right?
A non sequitur.
Non sequitur. Yeah, it's literally irrelevant to this, but it's a haymaker to unbalance, man. Like, yeah, I know your history, I know your shit. Your daughter's got a sex shop, man. That's a nice way to drop it, you know. Your daughter's got a sex shop.
The Lubanians, they are responsible. This man is being more slippery. He's being more slippery than the lubricants that he sells in his daughter's sex shop. And that's the reality of the situation.
Did you really just say that? You know, you seem obsessed with.
Notice how he's not denying. Notice how he's not denying the allegation.
Stand up and you leave the premises. You can't come back from that.
Sorry, he's not denying it. Listen, he's not denying it.
Why did man turn into Mariah Carey?
He
laughed and then turned into Mariah Carey. Did you really just say that? Like he's trying to break glass with that octave. Yo, his voice went high.
That's the reality of the situation.
Did you really just say that?
That needs to be a ringtone. You need to make that a meme, bro. Someone crop that. Listen, crop that bit off.
Did you really just say that?
Daughter's sex shop. And that's the reality of the situation.
Did you really just say that? You know, you seem obsessed with Jewish sex. It's bizarre. Yesterday, you actually spoke about Ben Shapiro's wife.
Yes,
you
I did.
actually you said
Yes,
to
I
Ben
did.
Shapiro,
Yes, I
your
did.
wife's a carrot. Well, you're more of a man. Is that what you're trying to
Yes,
say?
I did.
Then you said that Jews have BDSM. You're speaking about sexual lubricants while people are dying. You know, Muhammad, get your head out of the Jewish bedroom. It's really bizarre.
Can we get it?
Let me be clear.
No.
Sexual lubricants? How embarrassing.
You sell dildos, don't you?
Can we get it back?
You sell dildos, don't you?
Can we get it back to
You sell
topic?
dildos.
You speak about 5-year-old girls being
Guys, come on.
The guy's so
This
destabilized.
This is the clip. You sell dildos. You sell dildos, don't you? You sell dildos.
Go back. I didn't even hear that bit.
Was it?
People are dying. You know, Muhammad, get your head out of the Jewish bedroom. It's really bizarre.
Can we get it? Can we get it?
Let me be clear.
No.
Sexual lubricants? How
Can we
embarrassing.
sell dildos? Can we get it back? Can we get it back to the topic?
You speak about 5-year-old girls being ready for sex.
Come on,
Listen.
You sell dildos, don't you? He's not denying any of the
Is it true
allegations.
though? Is this actually true? How are
He's
you a
not
rabbi?
denying
I
it,
don't get
Sarah.
it.
He's not denying it.
How's he a rabbi? Like, is that just like a...
You sell dildos, don't you? You sell dildos.
He's already won the debate. He's already won the debate now.
Oh, that is crazy.
Yeah, that took that man's dignity, his man, everything just went out the window there. Not gonna lie, you can't come back from that.
I never thought it was going there. You sell dildos.
It's a bit much.
Let's go back to the issue. Let's go back to the issue.
Let me ask a question.
Why are you shaking? I've got a vibrator in your pocket.
Come on, it's a serious.
I think it's got one of his daughter's vibrators.
Come on, leave it, please.
Can you imagine if this was Sky News or something? This is mad. Only on PS4.
You know what? Yeah, Piers knows exactly what he's doing. Piers knows exactly.
Yes, he's seeing
what
money.
doing.
Listen, he's seeing money symbols right now in his head. He knows this is going to generate a lot of money.
He knows, man. He's a G.
Millions
This whole situation, he's made a bag out of this
100%.
whole situation.
Man said, "Nah, this is too. Nah, this is too."
Let's go back to the issue. Let's go back to the issue.
Let me ask a question.
Why are you shaking? I've got a vibrator in your pocket.
Come on, it's a serious.
I think he's got one of his daughter's vibrators.
Come on, leave it, please.
You are just humiliating
We're going to cut all this
back
stuff.
to the issue.
We'll cut all this stuff out. So there's no point.
Why? Why leave it? People should see what he represents.
There's no point abusing each other personally.
Okay, Piers.
I want to stick to the debate.
Let's get to the debate.
You don't want to do it? We'll end the debate.
Let's get to the debate.
Right, let me ask Mohammed a question. Right, I don't disagree with you that so far it seems to me, obviously, a fact that many more Palestinian civilians, innocent people, are getting killed as retribution by the Israelis for what happened on October the 7th. That's indisputable, right? Their argument is that they're going after a terror organization, Hamas, and unfortunately in war, as Rabbi Shmuley correctly said about what Churchill did in World War II.
Churchill was wrong.
Churchill
was wrong.
Was he a war criminal?
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Churchill was a war criminal.
Yes, he was. Churchill is a war criminal.
All the British
Let me
people
do
who
the
lived there
question.
were war criminals. Okay,
Let me do
and
the
George
question.
VI was George VI war
All of them
criminal?
war criminals. Yes, of
So
course.
anyone,
his
hang on, Rabbi Shmuley.
War criminal.
Let me ask. So let me get this straight. You think
collective punishment?
You think Winston Churchill
was a war criminal
in standing up to the Nazis
by killing the
who
babies?
killed 12 million people?
I believe he was a war
criminal. That by doing what he did was a war criminal.
By killing in Dresden and Hamburg, by the indiscriminate killing, collective punishment. My morality says that's impossible.
Okay, that means the British people who
That's
supported
impossible.
him
Can't
and
kill
voted him
children.
in, they were
My
also...
morality says that's impossible.
Just a second.
That's what I believe.
But the British people...
You believe he was a war criminal?
Yes.
So therefore, your belief is that no retaliatory action...
No, you can retaliate to the man, not to the babies.
Tell me a war in history
where
civilians haven't been killed.
No, I'm not saying civilians haven't been killed. It's
Just
about this ratio.
war or
It's about the
otherwise.
ratio. It's
No,
about the
no.
ratio.
What is the ratio?
What about
What's
the
the
ratio?
100 to 1 is unacceptable.
Actually,
What is the
morally,
ra- what
100 to 1 is unacceptable.
actually, morally,
101.
Okay,
101 is an
101
hang
invention.
on, Rabbi Shmuley. So let me give you a ratio.
Yeah.
How many people did the Nazis kill?
I don't know.
You don't know.
million.
how
We
many
know,
Nazis
we know they killed 6 million
They killed
people.
12 million people.
I don't know. We don't know.
Including
exactly.
6 million Jews.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
So
12 million non-combatants.
How many died in Dresden? How many civilians died in Germany? Do you know?
I don't know exactly.
Right. So you don't actually know what you're talking about.
I do know what I'm talking about because
You
I know in
called
Dresden
Churchill-
and Hamburg.
You said
if
it's
he's
about you. Unless I'm wrong.
Yeah, go ahead.
Unless I'm wrong.
Yeah, go
You
ahead.
said it's to do with the
Ratios.
the ratio.
Yes.
You don't know the ratios. When
No,
you
no,
call,
I know for a fact
You
Dresden
call
and
Winston Churchill
What
a
are the
criminal.
numbers?
Dresden and Hamburg.
What are the numbers?
Dresden
Wait a
and
minute,
Hamburg.
Rabbi Shmuley. When you
Dresden-
call Winston Churchill a criminal,
Yeah, I believe
you're
a war
basing
criminal.
it on ratios you don't even know what they are.
No, I know for there's difference of opinion among the scholars.
No, there isn't.
There is difference.
Tell us the
Of course.
opinions. What
Would you
are
get-
they?
would
Tell
you-
us what they are.
Hold on. There's of
How many
course-
in Dresden?
Excuse me. Stop speaking. For
How
me.
many in Dresden?
Am I speaking to him or
How
you?
many in Dresden?
Whatever the number.
You don't know
if
it
it's
all.
indiscriminate, I'm against it.
No, he doesn't.
That's my morality.
Rabbi Shmuley, you respond.
Dresden's about 25,000. And at the time, the Germans were saying 250,000. We know it's about 25,000 today. Let me be clear. Winston Churchill was the greatest statesman of the 20th century. He saved the world from
I agree.
Nazi terror.
Yeah.
That you could live in a country that is only around today because of the bravery of that man showing no gratitude is the height of
stick on topic. Stick on topic.
And to call all the British people who defeated the Nazis, stop interrupting me. Who defeated the Nazis, war criminals, his parents, all the other people, war criminals.
Let me ask Rabbi Shmuley a
It's
question.
wrong. Now, let me be clear.
Off topic. Step on topic. Yo, he's all over him, man. He's all over him.
Let me be clear. Mohammed Hijab trades in falsehoods. 300 to 1. What are you talking
100
about?
to 1.
And now he says
that
he says the Jews are about to kill 3 million Palestinians.
I didn't say they're about to. I said
the fact that this man considers himself an Oxford academic. I was a rabbi at Oxford University for 11 years. This is a travesty.
Did you graduate from there?
This is a travesty.
Let me ask you a question, Rabbi.
I have a
Did you graduate from there, though? Who's the rabbi, but did you graduate
Nah,
from
the
there?
shots are violent. The shots
Oh,
are
the
very
rabbi
violent.
Any university.
The shots are so violent. What the hell?
Did you graduate from any university at all?
He's an Oxford
Have you
rabbi that sold dildos. Mad. It's crazy.
So what does he do? Like, talk to me. Is he like a lecturer, a professor? What is he?
He sells sex toys, man. You heard him.
You're never gonna get over that.
Sex toys with the Israeli.
His whole career is dead after this.
He sells dildos with the Israeli flag.
I do look your grandkids in the eye after this conversation. Like some people just. Your granddad, what are you famous for? And Muhammad Hijab saying I sell sex toys. What the fuck? Imagine this is your legacy.
Did you graduate? Let me answer.
You're excommunicated.
Let me answer.
Let me answer. I swear you're excommunicated from your rabbis.
I am a rabbinical.
Honestly,
Can I speak?
This is pointless.
Go on.
Rabbi Shmuley, is there a limit to the number of civilians in Gaza that Israel can kill to try and
That's
eliminate
a good question.
Hamas?
That's a great question.
Yes, there is.
Thank you, but let me ask you.
Not even one. Not one beautiful Palestinian child should have to die because Hamas kicked out Mahmoud Abbas.
That wasn't my question.
And not one should have to die. What the answer to your question is that Hamas, if they surrender unconditionally, then
which they're not going to do.
Okay, fine.
But is there a limit?
Then let them allow all the civilians.
Is there a limit?
Israel said that all the civilians can leave. All the civilians should go south. They begged them. And that's something that militaries never do. Churchill did not tell the people in Dresden, come on, and you see, you came with all your notes.
We get the point.
I'm not here.
We get the point, Mohammed. I get the point.
This is
I get the point.
This is all proof that he can't debate me. So he has to use these images. Debate me. We didn't ask you to come on with all your exhibits.
Rabbi Shmuley, let me ask you a question. A member of the cabinet in Israel was actually quoted as saying that nuclear weapons were an option that Israel could use. No one's ever confirmed Israel has nuclear weapons. It's long been suspected. That seemed pretty clear confirmation.
Why are you against nuclear weapons?
Hang on.
If you're not against Dresden, why are you against nuclear weapons?
Let me ask the question.
No, but why are you against it?
I've done this before, this job. Let me do it.
Go on.
Okay? So when that guy says that, if you're living as an innocent civilian in Gaza, what the hell are you thinking? That an Israeli government member threatens the use of a nuclear weapon, which would obliterate pretty much all of Gaza and everyone in it.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the question. If that were true, why hasn't Israel used nuclear weapons against Nasser when he invaded? Well, hold on.
It's true this guy threatened
it. And the answer is no. I know the guy, and I spoke to him about it. His name is Amichai Eliyahu. Israel has never carpet bombed any Arab.
Hang
on, Mohammed.
Ever. Now.
1967 was preemptive.
He was asked a question by a provocative interview, and he said, well, if you're going to bomb the same thing, it was like it was a Mohammed Hijab type. You want to kill all the Arabs, 3 million people, just drop a bomb. He said, well, if you want to drop a bomb, drop a bomb. He was being dismissive and stupid, and he put out a statement the next day saying that never in history would the Jews ever even contemplate doing that. Let's remember one thing. The only place in the Middle East, one second, Pierce, the only place in the Middle East where Arabs have any freedoms, Israel. The only place where they vote openly, Israel. The only place where Palestinian women can dress the way they want, Israel. The only, and let's be clear, when Mohammed Hijab gets up and says that we Palestinians want to be a religion of death, you know, I just got a haircut coming here by an Arab barber here in London, and he said to me, I hope you defeat this guy because he doesn't represent us. We want to live. We want to have good lives. We want to be religious. We want to eat halal, but we don't want to die for martyrdom. You are not a Muslim. You're an Islamist. You're an Islamist.
Let me ask Mohammed a question.
They can vote.
Hamas has 240.
Takia. Palestinians can vote in the state of Israel, and they've been able to do since 1949. So
do they have the same type of citizenships, or they have 3 different ID cards, one for the West Bank, one for Gaza? Do they not have different IDs? Can the people of the West Bank just walk up to their uncle in Gaza and go there? No, they can't. They don't have the same right.
Propaganda again. They have the right to vote. That's the point. They had the right to vote. That
In
was the
Israel.
point of contention. In Israel, yeah. What can they do about that? Isn't it about Israel? What other country are you asking about? Bad thing. So the tequila won't work. This propaganda, you know, you need to go and evaluate before we speak. Right. And it's the only place in that region that allows people the right to vote.
How many Palestinians live in Israel?
In the West, is it what they call West Bank? 2 million, I think. Is it 2 million? Yeah, it's about 2 million. Or 1.8 million, I think they said.
Are they free to move around like the Israelis?
I
They
don't
have
know
the
the
same rights. They go to the same courts.
I don't know I don't know whether they have the same rights, exactly the same rights. I mean, I'm sure the Jews don't have the same rights in a lot of the Arab countries. So I don't know. That's the honest answer. I don't really know how much, but I'm sure they have more freedom than the Jews have in the Arab countries, or the Christians, of course.
Or the Christians, did you say? Countries.
Or the Christians, yeah, or the Christians. No, or the Christians in the Arab countries. Which, of course, people forget about. We can continue.
Hamas has 240 hostages they took, including babies, young kids, grandmothers who survived the Holocaust. I mean, an unspeakable further criminal act. We can agree, right?
Of course.
Why should Israel agree to any ceasefire so long as those hostages are still being kept hostage?
Look, my position is very clear. They should fight man to man on the ground.
Are.
On the ground.
Well, they are.
That fighting.
That's exactly what they're doing.
That fighting, no one can. This is
Muhammad, that's exactly what they're doing.
I know.
Man to man, they took hostages.
Excuse me.
They took babies as hostages.
He's asked me the question.
They took infants as hostages.
Let him answer the question.
You're getting excited here. I know it's your sexual incline. You're the sex
No,
rabbi.
Now you're back to my sex
Leave
life.
it,
You're getting overexcited.
Get your head out of my bedroom, Muhammad.
Stick to the topic.
Beneath you.
He's getting excited with me.
Let me ask the questions.
honestly.
You guys answer them. Mohammed, answer my question. Why, if you're Israel, would you ever agree to a ceasefire if those hostages aren't released?
I'm telling you what my position is. My position is man-to-man combat.
Which is what they're doing now.
No, that part of it is understandable. Do you understand?
That's what they're doing.
No problem. But what I think is not understandable, what is not acceptable, because you said, what's the proportionate response? That's the question you keep asking everybody. My answer to you is a proportionate response is one where in which the ratios are not 100 to 1.
That's your invention.
Excuse me, please.
Where does that come from?
I'll
What's
tell you
your source?
what. Okay,
Tell me the
excellent.
source. Tell me the source.
IDF.
The
IDF.
Yeah, sure. Tell me when did they say it?
They said,
I know all the IDF
No, you
spokespersons.
don't.
I know Jonathan
Daniel
Conricus.
Hagari.
Daniel Hagari said what? When?
Okay, so let me
say,
explain.
No.
Excuse me.
Say, when did he say we're killing Palestinians 100 to 1?
10 days ago, and it's mentioned on a website. I'll tell you
the truth is, they don't.
He never said this is pure fabrication.
Let me finish. You asked me the source.
Which website?
You asked me the source.
Which website?
You asked me the source.
Al Jazeera?
No.
Is it Al Jazeera?
You've asked me a question, right?
Okay.
Are you scared to hear the response?
Go ahead.
Okay, the response is as follows. The Guardian has reported that the IDF have said that in terms of the numbers of Hamas that have been killed, I'm answering this question.
I know.
The Hamas that have been killed, they say, quote unquote, dozens. Now listen.
Hamas or civilians? You said civilians.
No,
wait a minute.
You said civilians.
Wait a minute.
I'm telling you where I got the 100 to 1 ratio.
Mohammed.
100 to 1 ratio comes
the numbers have
There's 10,000 civilians.
The
numbers 60. It's actually more than 100 to 1.
As soon as you call him out on anything, he has no sources.
No one can hear what you're saying.
Okay.
Let me respond to him.
This is a blood libel.
Let me respond.
The Jews have a right to respond
I'm about
to a blood
question
libel.
him.
It's a blood libel.
Here's the reality. I read that report. That was about at least 2 weeks ago, right?
10 days ago.
The numbers have changed a lot.
Yes, they have.
Israel now believe they've killed a lot more Hamas. They don't know exactly how many, because actually, how do you tell on the ground?
By the way, Piers,
to the Hamas fighter and a member of the general population?
Do you know, according to the IDF, and we've done a study on the name that they put on X, they had 1,280 names that they put on X, and according to Haaretz, they put Haaretz is, as you know, is a left-wing newspaper in Israel. They also put the names of those who have been killed. Guess what? According to them, 340 military have been killed, which means Hamas's ratio of combatant to non-combatant is 3 to 1. Imagine Hamas is doing a better job in protecting civilians than Israel. 3 to 1.
I would say that Hamas, by what they did on October the 7th,
100 to 1 versus 3 to 1.
Wait a minute. Ordered by doing what they did, they ordered de facto the disintegration of northern Gaza that we're seeing.
Of course.
And
all the civilians
and the
suffering.
deaths
Have you seen
the
this?
deaths
Pierce,
of
sure,
thousands
Pierce,
of civilians.
Let him finish.
They knew what was going to happen.
I agree with that.
So that's why they should go.
Pierce,
Rabbi Shmuley.
in 2005, Israel unilaterally withdrew from Gaza and allowed, Hamas won an election in 2006. They could have built Singapore. You know what they did? They took larger foreign aid per capita than all of Europe received from the Marshall Plan. And look what France and Britain, look how beautiful London is. They took that money and they bought bullets and bombs. They did not build hospitals, not schools. They stole it from the Palestinian people. Ismail Haniyeh is worth $4 billion.
I don't care about
Khalid Mashal is worth $4 billion.
Why are you talking about him?
Call him an evil criminal. You're afraid to. Because he won't. See, he will never condemn Hamas because
he has condemned.
No,
Hamas.
go ahead.
I've heard him do it.
Excuse me.
Wait, no. He condemned Hamas's attack. He's never condemned Hamas.
Well, let me ask you: do you condemn Hamas?
On what basis?
Here we go. See,
hold on.
Do you accept now?
Let me ask you a question.
Every answer is on what basis? On what this? What's your source?
Let him answer.
If you ask me,
they're trying to corner him. Do you condemn Hamas? The general. Boy, I don't know. Politically, I don't know where you got to lie with that, because obviously they're playing chess with each other. You got to think about your future, what you can say, what you can't say. So they got to tiptoe around.
Yeah, sorry, can I just read this out? Because, what I meant was in the occupied territories, Israeli settlers have a completely different set of legal rights than Palestinians. While Israeli settlers in the territories can vote in Israeli elections, Palestinians cannot. Israeli settlers are also able to travel freely across the occupied territories and into Israel, while Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank cannot. They must apply for permits. So no, what do you call it, Reggie? The occupied territories, Palestinians cannot vote. And don't tell me about 1 or 2 that live in Israel. Forget that. No one cares. The 1 or 2 that had to assimilate and accept the occupation. They don't have, that's why they call it apartheid, and that's why the UN, there are apartheid laws and policies that Israel utilizes.
What do you say to that, Reggie?
I think I missed a lot of it, but
don't nah.
You want me to repeat it for you? Actually, no, I'll put the link in the back for you, and then you can read it.
In the private chat, thank you. Not in the back.
In your own time.
No source in the back, just in the private chat.
But so when you said the West Bank, they can't vote in the West Bank. That's occupied territory. They don't have rights. But the settlers, the European settlers who decided to come from America, Russia, and Poland can definitely vote.
The West Bank, we know, is full of Arab settlers. They weren't indigenous to the region. We've already gone in this. We've already done this one. You know what I mean? Those settlers that you claim are not occupied.
That's fine. We can discuss that another time. I'm saying you said people in the West Bank can vote. West Bank is occupied territory. Palestinians cannot vote.
Checkmate.
So can they vote? Can they vote in Israel?
They can't vote. And I'll put the article in the back for you to read. No, they can't. And that's why they refer to it as apartheid policies, because the settlers can vote, but the Palestinians cannot vote. The settlers can move around freely. The Palestinians cannot. They have to seek permits. There's different identity cards for the Gazans. There's an identity card for the West Bank. A West Bank person can't just go to the Gazan territory to visit his family members. He has to get permits. The permits are very difficult to get. So it's really difficult for the Palestinians. They don't have the same rights. It's an apartheid set of policies that's used. But I'll put the link in the back. You take your time out and you read it. Breaks it down for you.
Checkmate.
Oof.
It's worth looking into.
Yeah. Shut up. Anyway, let's play the video.
Did you condemn IDF? I'll say specify your context. In what exact context?
Do you defend Hamas as a terrorist organization that just went and killed 1,200 people, burned them alive, beheaded them, and took 250 hostages? Do you condemn them or not? Do you condemn them or not? Get your head into the debate, and do you condemn them or not? See, this is a debating tactic.
It's 2-on-1 now.
Let him answer.
It's 2-on-1. It's become 2-on-1.
Let him answer.
You're not a victim. Stop the victim, but now it's 2-on-1. Stop the victim. You love portraying yourself as a strong man. Now you're a victim. It's 2-on-1. You probably could take 2-on-1. So answer it. Answer the question. Is Hamas a terror organization you condemn?
Is that something you and your
Is
daughter
Hamas a terror organization
probably can take 2-on-1?
that you?
It's a reasonable question because you
Okay,
asked me.
so
Is
sure,
the IDF?
Okay, beautiful. I'll answer your question directly. Hamas is as much a terrorist organization. No, Hamas shouldn't be called a terror organization if the IDF isn't. Why?
Okay.
Because if
See,
it's either both or not.
There we are. This is
either both or neither.
Okay, but just
Either both or
to
neither.
extrapolate your position, because you believe the IDF is, then you're also saying that Hamas is.
Let me tell you my
Then
position.
say it.
hang on.
Say it. Say it.
I'm not going to speak. I'm not going to speak.
Let me, Rabbi Shmuley, let me get the answer.
The unholy Shmuley won't let me speak.
Right, I'm asking you a question.
My
At least that was
my
funny.
answer
That was
is
the first rhyme you did the whole time.
Maybe
we could be friends.
Let me ask
it again.
Given you've already stated you believe the IDF is a terror organization.
Yeah.
Am I to assume
legally or morally?
that you believe
Legally or morally?
Well, hang on.
Go on.
Am I to assume that you believe Hamas is now?
No, this is my position. But you have to give me 10 seconds at least to answer, right? Legally, I think you shouldn't call Hamas a terrorist organization if you're not calling IDF a terrorist organization. That's my position.
But you do both.
Hold on.
Call them terror
Hold on.
Let him answer.
Hold on. Let me finish. Because as we said, the UN definition of what a terrorist organization is to kill civilians in order to achieve a political objective. However, on a moral and theological, philosophical level, I agree with Rosalind Higgins, who was the justice of the International Criminal Court, right? The Court of Justice, ICJ, a British justice. By the way, she was a Holocaust survivor as well. She was Jewish. And her position is that she believes that the word terrorism or terrorist is actually useless. And she says that it's, or I'm putting to her.
Can you answer my question?
He's going on for 10 minutes just to evade the question.
Let me finish. So I'm answering your question. So I'm saying that as a moral construct, I think it's a neo-colonial social construct used by people in order to label some people as terrorists and other people as well. So as a moral category, I don't designate it as a moral category.
As a legal category. Do you believe, you personally, Mohammed Hijab, do you believe that the IDF and Hamas are both terror organizations?
I think yes. If you say yes to IDF, you should say yes to Hamas. If you say no to IDF,
I'm asking you what you
Hamas
believe.
is a terrorist organization.
What you believe.
If you say yes to IDF, you can say yes to Hamas.
I'm asking you what you believe.
Yes, I believe legally, according to the definition, if you say yes to Hamas, you can say yes to the IDF.
Pierce, we could go on to the next.
We are going to the next.
But if you say no to the IDF, you can't say yes.
It's fine. We're going to the next. We're going to the next block. But that's interesting.
But morally, I don't believe the category.
Gymnastics, boy.
Does anyone know who Tank is in the chat? Because he keeps calling my name. I don't even know who this brother is.
Tank is just horrified that you're not Muslim.
Is that you, Reggie? Are you Tank?
No, I'm not Tank. He thought you were Muslim. That's why the Bible says, "By their fruits you shall know them." Like the fruits.
Yeah, we know you by your fruits.
Bro, you didn't even know what Bible you follow, man. Drop that line. Don't ever in your life.
Look at it.
I know you by your fruits. I know your fruits.
That's right.
The Bible today, and you probably take it.
The jihadis.
Your fruits.
I don't even think you've ever even read the Bible from front to back in your entire life.
I'm not sure because every time the jihadis speak, Zulu is co-signing everything. It's sad.
Bro, I'm your worst enemy.
Zulu has consistent principles and morals, and there's many times he doesn't agree and he voices his disagreements. As for you, you're just discombobulated in every occasion.
You
can't stand on anything.
All the Christians in the chat.
You can't stand on your tribe, talking about Igbo. You can't stand on your religion. You don't know what Bible you follow.
Here we go.
You can't stand on anything, bro.
Yeah, that was a huge error.
We saw how Gain scored you yesterday. Like, come on, sorry. You need to be more humble in defeat.
Reggie, you're the king of L's. I'm not even gonna cap. You've taken a lot of L's.
There was no competition. There was no.
When people are struggling,
I don't get what you mean. It was a conversation, and we both came to the same conclusion in the end. And he went about his way. I went about my way.
When neutrals.
Get it, man. You're evangelical, Zionist, missionary, make people go against each other. It doesn't work here, bro.
Sarah, you ready?
Stand on something.
Hello, Jude. How's it going?
Your backup is here now.
I tell you. So what do you think people think of this actual interview? Let's not get into personals.
We're still
watching. We're still going through it, Jupiter.
I'm still going through, but so far I think it's been quite intense. quite equal. They've gone. I mean, I've watched it before, but at this, I'm gonna lie.
Yeah.
At this stage, I just knew it was one of those things where they're gonna both be taking shots at each other.
I think the Zionists could have picked a better person in this debate.
Don't you think it's mad though that Mohammed Hijab said, "Can I just ask a question?" Went completely off script of what the debate was meant to be, and Piers Morgan capitulated.
They've both done that, though. To be fair,
They were both changing up the topics.
they've both done that.
You had the Zionist rabbi giving da'wah at one point at the beginning, telling us all about the great thing Islam
With
has
the
done,
universities.
and all the universities we built and how great Islam is.
This guy was ranting about, oh, you said you could do this in
I think his point was that he was talking about how great Islam was, and that the extremists are actually. I actually understood his point on that. That Mohammed Hijab is actually bringing Islam into disrepute.
What?
Nah, come on, man. You can't play that trick on us. We know you don't like us. You can't try and pretend like you like us. They've never liked them. We know
What do you mean? You're saying I don't like Muslim people?
Not you. Let me not say you, but as in this guy. We know he doesn't like us.
But how do you expect a Jew that wants his people to survive?
He's a Zionist. He's a Zionist.
Yeah, but if you're not a Zionist, then you're
many Jews are against Zionism. There are evangelical
They're the
Jews,
minority.
evangelical Zionists like yourself. There
They're
are
in the
atheist
minority.
Zionists, the founders of the Zionist political movement. Zionism is a political ideology.
It's just
Judaism is
common
a religion.
sense. If you allow these Palestinians to have the same capabilities as Jews, they will kill them within a week. They would murder every one of them.
No, they lived amongst each other. There are many
You can
Jews
see-
who are
that's-
in the
you can see-
protests
you can
talking
see the
about my
genocide.
grandparents.
You can see
lived
the
next to
genocide. You
Palestinians.
can see the genocide. I've showed the figures. The genocide of the Jews all over that region, from Egypt to Jordan to all over the neighboring countries. The numbers have almost gone to non-existent. There's been genocide all over there of Jews, and they'll do the same if the opportunity.
Yeah,
to
but
the
the
Jews
Zionists have
also.
also committed genocide on the non-European Jews when they were injecting Ethiopian Jews and they reduced their birth rates to 50%. That was a genocide. When they were performing eugenics on the Ethiopian Jewish community.
Yeah,
that was eugenics. That was a genocide because their birth rates dropped to half.
Yeah, the real Jews.
To 50%. So let's not play this whole Muslims were committing genocide. Zionist Europeans also committed genocide against Jewish people.
Zionist Europeans. So
Yeah,
basically,
that's why I don't say Jews, because many Jews are against the Zionist ideology. Many Jews don't even believe in this.
Zionist Muslims who want to take over the world, or aka jihadis, have committed genocide on the non-believers, on kuffars all over the Arab region. They're committing genocide in Nigeria.
Zionism, you can't be a Zionist Muslim. Zionism.
That doesn't even make sense. There's no such thing as a Zionist Muslim.
To do with them.
They're committing genocide all over Africa. Genocide in Somalia. They're committing
Reggie,
genocide
do you know what Zionism
in
is?
northern
Why do
Nigeria.
I keep getting muted? Is that Jedi or something else?
I doubt it.
No, we can hear you.
Maybe it's your reception.
It was me. Sorry.
No one's muting you.
Okay, because I just wanted to bring up a point that when Mohammed Hijab brings up the, I don't know if you've got to this point yet, but he actually brings up apartheid in Africa and everything else. And I think that he's very quick to jump onto the coattails of black oppression to try to use it as a handle into gaining emotional sympathy, right? But not once does he mention Ethiopian Jews. I think
mentioned it before.
Point, like,
well, we're not even really there yet anyway, but yeah, good point.
Yeah, but yeah, so it is.
I mean, everyone does that with black people. Everyone does that. To be honest.
We'll wipe them out, yeah, 100%.
This is not even about black people, but if it
You wouldn't care if it was, though. You wouldn't care if it was. That's the thing.
Oh, you know, you lot tried to lie and say that there's all the black Palestinians, blah blah blah. We're still waiting for the numbers of the black Palestinians that you lot alluded to. You know what I mean?
What, the ones that they call Afro-Palestinians?
Yeah, isn't that the ones you're talking about?
They literally have an African quarter in West Bank.
Have you gone there? Have you been there? Have you been anywhere in the Middle East, Zulu?
No, not in the Middle East.
You
No.
don't.
Oh, so most of your knowledge comes from a book, right?
Have you
You
been
don't know.
Israel? Reggie, have you been Israel?
I've not been to Israel. I'm asking as
Yeah,
a
okay.
Exactly. What are you doing?
Go on.
Retard, man.
There's no need to Cape. There's no need to Cape. I'm asking, has he been to the Middle East? He
Don't
said
piss
no.
me off. Bro. It's
Allow it,
Sabbath.
man.
It's Sabbath. Catch me tomorrow night. Don't piss me off now, bro.
It's
Okay.
Sabbath. Keep your Sabbath. It's not long now, anyways.
The fact is,
Yeah,
none
it's
of you
funny
have been-
how the person who you're always questioning their Christianity is actually performing Sabbath. But we move. Let's carry on, guys.
Yeah.
you this pick and mix Muslim. Anyways, cool. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We saw how you actually cherry picked yesterday. Let's roll on. Where?
Disagree has any weight.
No, but you
Or
have
it has no designation.
But you have made your position clear, which is
Absolutely.
that you believe they're both terror organizations.
I believe that according to the law, absolutely.
Okay, and that's interesting to me. Okay,
But I have to say,
wait. Let's come to
when
the
you
next.
call the IDF a terror organization, the IDF keeps 1.8
opinion.
million
It's
Arabs
his
alive
opinion.
in Israel.
100 to 1
The
ratio.
Hamas, this is invention. It's a fabrication.
Let me
You
move
can't
on to the last
Get
block.
more pictures out. It's
Stop getting
unbelievable.
angry. This could
This
be
is
your
how
son.
you lose a
Your son in
debate
the
when you
IDF.
need to bring. I
Your
brought
son is
nothing
an
with me.
IDF. He could be this. He could be like this.
No, my son
He
is.
could be dead
sorry.
like that.
My son is in the
could be
IDF.
dead.
You're here in the safety of a
Yes, he could be
studio
dead like that.
talking about how you want to do martyrdom. You're really risking your life here,
whatever.
Mom. You're big talk.
Your
You
son
talk
could
a
be
lot.
dead right now. Like
You
this
attack.
boy.
You attack.
Okay.
You attack Ben Shapiro's
Your
wife.
son is an IDF.
You actually
Could be dead
posted,
right now.
you actually posted
Could
a
be
clip
dead right
saying
now.
that with someone else saying that
Would you
Islam
like your son
teaches
to
you
be
how to
returned
get
in a black
women
bag?
to listen to their husbands.
Your
This
son
is
could
all
be returned in a black
false
bag.
bravado, false machismo.
Your son,
If you're a
Mendy,
real man,
could
go
be
to the
dead.
Middle East and fight. What are you doing in
What
a
do you mean?
television
All right,
studio?
fight with who? Fight with
Let
him.
me move to the last one.
You should be there. You have the right to fight with
No,
the
no,
IDF.
I'm not.
You use your son as a human
Alright.
shield.
You
He's
try
using
to
his son as a
bully
human
people
shield.
in debates, and it's being allowed. in
He's
this-
using his son as a
this-
human
and it's
shield.
not.
I want to
This is
move to the
ridiculous.
last ironically themed subject. Is peace possible? Okay. Not on this basis, right?
Of
But
course it's not
we've
possible.
got to try and get to peace.
Of
So
course
you
it's
get a
not
minute
possible.
each again. Mohammed, you'll go first this time. So you get a minute from now.
Okay, so I just want to say that this man is.
No. Is peace ever possible?
I've got a minute uninterrupted.
Is peace ever possible?
Can I
Is the
speak
question.
uninterrupted?
No, you've got to speak about the subject.
I can say what he's been attacking me. I
Don't
can
attack him personally. We're not going to use it. It's pointless. I'm going to take it just for the record.
Childish.
We'll put it on YouTube so people can see it all in context, right? But on my show, I'm just not going to have half of this, what I thought was going to be a serious debate, taken up with you two personally abusing each other.
Bismarck.
It's pointless.
Excuse me. Von Bismarck said, "I repay people with the currency that they pay me with."
Right.
If he's going to come without homonyms, as you've acknowledged, I can come back with
Right, but you did, and you shouldn't have done because you had the high moral ground.
homonyms?
No, I
Now you
believe
don't.
it's- no, I believe I can do it.
Man is bringing up
You've
Jewish
both been as
sex
bad as each other.
nonstop in
You've
this
both
entire
been as
debate.
bad
Where
as
have
each
I even
other.
mentioned that?
On the personal stuff, you've been as bad as each other. Let's start again. You get a minute from now. Is peace ever possible?
Justice is a prerequisite.
No, it's just.
You see the
Just tell
spirit
them
of
off.
Islam, you see the spirit of Islam in hijab. You do me, I do you, and that's why they never ever can have peace in that region, because all they want to do is, oh, you did me, I've got to have the last word, I've got to come back.
He did quote Islamic person. He quote a European philosopher.
Yeah, which I coincidentally has the same kind of unforgiving, you do me kind of ideology, and he's
How did you link it? Did he was quoted? Okay, cool. I hear you.
Yeah, he's reiterated it earlier as well in another
It's
point.
the same as IDF, right? You do me, I do you, right? It's the same thing, right?
IDF. We're not talking about IDF at the moment. We're talking about what the jab just said, and he's ready. He's already said that. Oh, you do me, I do you. He has to come back, and that's the problem with that region. That is why they'll keep on fighting each other in Yemen, Iran versus Saudi Arabia, all these other internal conflicts that they consistently have. Like it's ridiculous all over. They always want to have the last final say. And
What about when the evangelical Christian, Mr. Bush and Tony Blair were having meetings talking about God told them to go to war in Iraq?
Well, the same kind of meetings that your prophet Muhammad was having when he
So I
was
guess
killing
it's
the pagan Arabs, right? The same kind of meetings
The whole thing was a
the
farce.
kind of meetings that he was
Yeah.
having when he went back to kill the pagan Arabs, right?
Leaders are very egotistical and they love their chairs and their power and they do whatever they're all the same.
He's also a
All
skull and
leaders.
bones. Let's not forget he's a skull and bones.
They love power and they don't want anyone to take their power. They want to be the dominant person. So you will always have wars. You will always have conflict.
I
That's
just thought the whole thing was embarrassing. I think Piers Morgan lackluster, maybe bought out. I don't know whose side he's meant to be on. Not that there should be sides, but yeah, he says some dodgy stuff that I didn't agree with. And then you've got these two that didn't stop bickering. They were like two little school kids in the nursery. What's going on?
Piers needs Jupiter.
Where's these respective debates that we used to have, dignified, ordered, you know, where people could actually understand and take on board their points? And the fact that they actually did go to sexual smears, oh my God, I was like,
Why are we surprised?
now I understand why YouTube's got like it is. It ain't nothing, it's nothing to do with that the mindsets are changed. No, it's because the mindsets coming in are different. This is mental. Mental.
The same thing that he did.
Who worked for the sensationalist Murdoch? Like, why do you expect such high? Why do you have such high standards for Piers Morgan? Piers Morgan is a sensationalist. He's always worked for sensational.
Oh, I don't expect him to be brilliant, but I thought that his standards would be higher than allowing two people just to scream abuse.
What do you want him to do?
On the root cause. Yeah.
He's let these people. He's let them onto the panel. Hijab has got previous for going into personals whenever he's having a debate and he's not really getting anywhere.
Yeah,
He goes
it's
into
pathetic.
personal. He's obviously attacked and said last time he was on, he was talking about he kept on re-emphasizing that Piers Morgan had been sacked by
Yeah,
whatever.
but I think the rabbi joined in and he became personal as well. And I was like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, the rabbi in this instance is just equally like he
sensationalist. All of them. Piers is a sensationalist. Muhammad Hijab is a sensationalist. The other rabbi guys are sensationalist. They all know what they're doing. They're all going to get views. They're all going to get money in their pockets. They're all happy. That's all it is.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, there's still people dying. And this is what's sad because, I mean, when I listened to this early this morning and I was like, oh my God, this is comical. It's outrageous, but it's comical at the same time. It appeals to my dark sense of humour because they're just acting like children. There's no decent debate. There's no will to solve the problem. And it's all grandstanding. And one of the most ironic things is that you've got Piers Morgan saying this is Piers Morgan uncensored. But is that a sense of that man has got no dignity and he's showing up dead bodies of children? I mean, fuck's sake. What's going on in the world?
Well, I don't think Hijab came there to bring about any solutions or bring out any progressive ideas to the conflict. He's obviously gone there for views. And it's no surprise, you know, even when Pierce is asking this question, will there ever be peace? They never had any such an answer in mind. And to be fair to him, like I said, there's not this is the Middle East. Like these people are unforgiving. They don't practice peace.
Big up.
Big up, Con.
Big up.
They want the infidel to be under them, and until the infidel is under them, under their foot, there'll never be peace. You know what I mean?
I've been on a lot of TikTok live streams, and I think a lot of these Jews, they're so wrapped up in their own narrative that they don't realize that they've become a laughing stock to the whole world now. It's like when they speak, the things they come up with, but you can't justify genocide. No matter what, like, I don't care if your great granddad was there or your great granddad came from Germany. Like, it's irrelevant.
What genocide?
I don't care. None of their talking points actually
what genocide
matters when we're talking about genocide. When we're talking about killing. Huh?
What genocide? There is no genocide.
All right, this is what I'm saying to you, Reggie. You're putting yourself in that same category where when you say things like that, people are just going to laugh at you, and it's like,
brother,
who's like,
have you been watching the video?
Sat down with you and brainwashed you? That's what we need to know.
Have you watched the video?
What, this whole video?
No, yeah. Have you been watching it? Have you been following it?
Obviously. So
did you not see when he tried to talk about genocide, how Hijab reacted? He couldn't commit to the term genocide because he knows it's a far-fetched to be calling it a genocide. If you want to talk about genocide, you need to look at the numbers of Jews.
But I will say this, Reggie. Do you know there might be a bigger agenda at play?
Exactly. This is what I said to Jews today. I was saying to them, Germany's benefiting from this. England and America's benefiting from this. India's benefiting from this.
No, we're not.
And you lot are going to have to carry the can for it. You're going to have to carry, like, all this sympathy that Jews have been getting all this millennia is all going to go out the window now. They don't realise the knock-on effects of what they're doing. Like, mate, I'm telling you, it's not looking good on them. Like, they're a
I
laughing stock.
don't necessarily agree with that. I think there's going to be civil unrest in this country because of something that's nothing to do with us. And because our politicians have got involved maybe in some backdoor dealing, although that hasn't been proved. That's just my suspicion. But I don't know if you're aware of Paul Joseph Watson. He's put out a video that claims that Israel have got an agenda to clear the area and they want to send all of their immigrants over here.
Oh, yeah, they'd love that. That would
And
save
yeah,
them from genociding them, wouldn't it?
he claims he's got paperwork. He showed it to a limited amount. But yeah, if that's true and there is a bigger agenda, then you can understand why Suella Braverman got kicked out the other day. You can understand why there's been a lackluster thing to try and sort out illegal immigration. And I know that might not be your position, but as an English person, I'm like, what a fucking liberty. This is outrageous.
I'm selfish. I don't want my kids going to school with kids who have been living in a war zone. Do you know what I mean? Like, all right, it's not from their own choosing. They're innocent victims, but you're from a war zone. How can you be going to school with my kids?
Why?
Nah,
Why not?
mate.
Why not?
I'm
Why
all right.
not?
I'm all right.
Why
I'm
not?
all right.
Why not?
I'm all
You
right
go
with
into
it.
more detail.
Thanks.
Why not?
I don't have a
I'm all
problem
right
with the
with it.
kids
I'm
and
all right with
women.
it.
I'm more worried about the fact that we might
I would
What,
have
you've grown up seeing people getting their limbs like blown off like with bombs and shit. Like, you're not normal no
Yeah, but
more.
that's not their fault. I
Yeah,
don't
I
have
know
a
it's not
problem
their
with
fault.
kids.
I'm not saying it's their fault. I'm just saying, yeah, thanks, but no thanks.
See, and if someone else said that, they'll be classed as racist.
No,
I've been
I'd
called
rather
racist
speak about
before.
what he
I've been
thinks
called
because
racist
we've got to
before.
stop this, Reggie. We've got to stop this. Oh, you're racist for thinking this way because everybody has the right for self-preservation. Everybody. It doesn't matter what colour you are, where you come from. Everybody has got the right to that, right? I agree with that.
Of course.
Right? And the fact of the matter is that this is affecting our country. And if there is a bigger agenda to push these immigrants here, there is problems that are going to come with them. Now, don't get me wrong. I've already done a live stream on this. I don't have a problem with the women and children coming here. I don't, because children are children, and some of those little babies. I mean, I can't believe that people are building terrorist fucking cells underneath a hospital with little babies that could be blown up at any minute. I mean, that you see all those little babies. I'm a mother. The maternal instinct kicks. I think, oh, look at these cute little kids. You know,
I
they might
know.
not. Tomorrow. It's hard when you actually think about that. It is heartbreaking. But the men, I don't know if I want the men here, because how many of these men have not got the mindset to understand that this is not right?
It's not
It's not
human.
right.
It's not human. Even making us watch it, it's not human. We're getting
And
fucked up from just
down
watching
to
it.
the fact
Imagine the
of,
people living through it.
yeah, and even the fact of Mohammed hijab going on there and showing these pictures of these babies that have died. What the fuck is he doing?
Mad, isn't it?
I mean, it's bad enough the people there are being traumatized. What, you want to traumatize more and more people? I don't want to see that. I mean, maybe it is a Western privilege, but I don't want to see that. I don't want to see those cute little kids and what's happened to them, and to feel, you know, sick and everything, knowing that we're powerless, that we can't stop it, and that all of this, even that vote in Parliament, wouldn't have made a blind bit of difference. This is between them two nations, and the way that these two descended into chaos, arguing with each other, I think that tells me everything we need to know. These are meant to be people that are representing. These are meant to be big people.
No, they're just getting people that are good speakers who are a bit amusing and can be funny as well. And like the other geezer on there, I forget the other geezer, the comedian, they had him on there as well. It's like, it's just all for Piers Morgan, isn't it?
Yeah, but do you know what surprised me? I don't know. Let it get to the end, because I'll
It's not a
tell you.
serious news channel. It's not a serious channel. If it was
Hello,
BBC or
hello.
something.
I'm back.
Hey.
Hello, Randy.
Reggie.
How's it going, my old mate?
Yeah. So you think I'm a donut, yeah?
Yeah, you are a bit of a donut.
Why
man.
would you say that, Reggie? Why would you say that?
Anyway.
Do you know like what a donut is? Like, you're more of a donut than he is.
Oh, please.
But you are, though.
Okay, I can demonstrate this, Reggie. Let's go through Israel-Palestinian history.
Oh, we done this dance before, man. What are you talking about? What part of the history you want to go through? What point are you trying to make?
All right, let's start with October 7th, 2023. What happened?
Is that the history? That's a very short history, isn't it?
No, because you said we've done the Israel-Palestine history before. So I'm going to bring it right up to date. October the 7th, 2023. What happened, Reggie?
You don't need to ask that because you know what, that's a rhetorical question. Like, really?
No, I know what happened, but I want to know. I want to know if you know what happened.
I have no idea. Enlighten me.
All right. So 1,400 Israelis were killed, and 200 hostages were taken.
Yeah.
Why did that happen, Reggie? Why did that happen, Reggie?
Because your brothers in Hamas decided it was time to attack as part of their long.
Reggie, that's embarrassing though that you didn't know.
My brothers in Hamas.
That is embarrassing.
Why do you think I've got any association with Hamas? Come on,
No,
Reggie.
I was playing. I do actually know what happened then. I was just wondering why he's asking me that when probably everybody knows.
I'm just gonna ask specific questions to see if you know your facts.
So what did you ask me again? Something about Hamas?
Okay, so what happened on October the 7th?
Yes.
1,400 Israelis were killed.
Yes.
And 200 Israelis were taken hostage.
Yes.
Okay, why did that happen?
Because of terrorism, because of jihad, because of Muhammad.
Okay, as I've made this point numerous times on this stream in the last week, we have two examples of terrorism that brought peace. First, the Northern Ireland conflict. Martin McGuinness became a member of Parliament and we reached the Good Friday Agreement. And then there was peace in Northern Ireland. Second, Nelson Mandela, an ANC terrorist, reached peace in South
Yeah, but
Africa.
Nelson Mandela, they talk about him in this debate. I don't know if you've already passed it. You know, he came out of jail wanting peace. You got to want to peace.
Yeah, but
no,
what,
if you understand religion, hold on. If you understand religion, you'd understand the story of the prodigal son.
No. We're not talking about religion. We're talking about the fight to.
Yeah, but you
end
can't
apartheid.
ignore the religious factor in this.
There's no
And this is
religious
why
factor
this
in
war
South
is
Africa.
different.
What religious factor in
Yeah,
South
Randy,
Africa?
listen, this is why this story is different. This fight is different because there is a religious aspect to it.
No, there ain't.
It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
there is. You can't deny
It
it.
doesn't matter. It does not matter.
No, there
It
ain't.
does
The
matter because they truly believe they're
a lot of
fulfilling the book.
Israelis are atheists. A
Oh,
lot of
you think
Israelis
it
are.
matters, but it
A lot
doesn't matter.
of Israelis are. What's
Well,
it
in my
called?
opinion, yeah. In my opinion.
Ethnically Jewish. They're ethnically Jewish. A lot of them, they
The
don't
reason
claim
why
to
you
even
have
be religious.
300,000 hate marches coming out to march is because of
Okay.
religious. A lot of them have never been to Israel and Palestine, and a lot of them have no affiliation. In fact, the conflict that has produced more deaths, which is happening in Saudi Arabia, couldn't even produce 1/10 of the amount of protesters that came
it's
out. Only because
whataboutism again.
of religious
Forget
reasons.
the whataboutism.
because
It's not religious. It's not religious.
It's
It's not
only
religious.
because of religious
Let me
reasons.
bring it. Let me
It's
bring
not
it
religious.
very
Prove it.
local.
Prove that it's religious. Prove it.
Local.
It's only because of religious reasons.
Prove it. Prove it.
I
Prove it.
live next to a Jewish socialist, yeah? A Jewish socialist. He's a friend of Jeremy Corbyn. He doesn't support Israel.
Oh, I bet he is. Fuck's sake.
What do you mean? A lot of Jews don't support Israel.
Yeah,
So, Jeremy Corbyn is a fucking another nutcase. Listen, there's a whole pantomime going on in the government from the right to the left. Anyone who falls for this left and right agenda anymore ain't. Let's be honest, right? This is all being orchestrated, and I wouldn't even think. I don't even think Mohammed Hijab and this bloke here hates each other.
Here comes the conspiracy theory.
No, it's not a conspiracy theory.
All right,
These
prove it with
people, these people don't care about the ordinary person, and it's the ordinary people that are suffering. Until us ordinary people, no matter where we are in the world, wake up and understand that there are certain individuals that are willing to be players for money. And don't get me wrong, everyone needs a bit of money, but fucking hell, have a little bit of respect for yourself. You know, we're all pawns in this game, and I ain't going to feed into this fucking narrative that, oh yeah, poor Palestinians, this, that, and the other, and Israel's are the big bad evil guys. But neither am I going to fall into the paradox of, oh, Israel don't do nothing wrong. Listen, there's been wrongs on both sides.
Jupiter,
It's the ordinary people.
Do you remember
that suffer.
do you remember the Vietnam War? Jupiter, do you remember the Vietnam War?
Yeah. Apparently there was
what was
fucking
it about?
soldiers in that war that got left behind
Let me make
and
a
fucking
point
was still
quickly.
fighting years later.
What was it about the Vietnam War that made people like actually like turn against their own government and put them under pressure to stop the war? It was the fact that their own boys were coming home in body bags. A lot of Americans were dying, right? And their own people couldn't bear it. If the IDF go in on foot like they're supposed to, like a normal army,
they have gone in on foot. Though. They are in there.
But American Special Forces is in there with them right now, right? Because their own soldiers, they're all part-timers. And once they start coming home in body bags, their own people are going to turn against Netanyahu. That's why they're trying to get it over and done with. That's why they're trying to get troops. That's why they're trying to get over and done with in about one or two. Can I just not land my point? They're just trying to finish it within 1 or 2 weeks. They want to finish it real quick before the anti-Netanyahu movement starts gaining momentum, because they know his days are numbered.
Yeah, Khan, the people at the top on both sides, they're fucking all fucked. It's the people at the bottom that it's the people at the bottom that are getting done over. I'm not going to listen to any of their fucking narratives. All I will say is this: if one group of people go and slaughter people and cut babies' throats and fucking rape people, expect a backlash. That doesn't mean though that I'm sitting here thinking,
No,
oh yeah, that's
true.
great.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. If a bunch of people that hate your country come into the hospital and beheaded children, that doesn't mean that your soldiers can go and do the same thing. It's not true.
At the end of the day, there's suffering on both sides. And the people that are suffering the most are not these elites that are going to get the awards at the end of it. It's ordinary people.
You just said something that is just so ridiculous that if somebody does a heinous act, that opens the door for you to give them like for like. As a professional army, as a trained outfit,
I didn't say that,
to bring yourself down to that level and respond with a like for like thing.
I didn't say that though, Khan. That's your interpretation.
No, but what I'm saying is,
what I said was,
have done a disgusting thing, yeah? They've done a terrorist act, they've done a disgusting thing, right? As a military outfit, yeah, whatever army it is, English army, French army, whatever, you can go in, but you still got to be professional.
What's professional?
Professional means not killing women and children.
Listen, when you're fighting terrorists, the professionalism has gone out the window because already.
This is what I mean. Where'd you get that from?
You're not fighting an army that wants to engage in the rules of law. That's number one.
Where did you get that from?
Number two, hold on, let me land, on. You can come back on me. Number two, I'm not fucking saying that what they've done is right, but you must have understood, right, that there was going to be an emotional response to this. You go in.
Not from an army. Not from an army.
Hold on, let me finish. You go in, you kill 1,400 people, and you think them people ain't got families, fucking other people around the world that they know, workplace, you know, school, fucking down the road, your neighborhood. These people are all going to be suffering grief. And we know that in grief, there's 5 stages of grief, and one of those stages is anger. And we know that if those
to soldiers,
Time out, 1 minute. Jupiter,
if those people get angry at the same time and they want retribution, you know it's going to be harsh, especially when they've got better artillery. What was Hamas thinking? They really thought this was going to be an even war, that people were going to step in and get involved? After all the talks and the politics that have gone on recently, I just don't understand Hamas. I don't understand their mindset.
How many Palestinians have been killed in the last 75 years?
Why are you asking questions what you know the answer to? Just give us the answer if you've got a point that you're making. Like, what's the question?
So go on then, how many?
Oh, what a silly guy.
If you're going to start using the argument that this idiot here although he dresses well. I've got to give it to him. He does dress well. I like his suit. I like his tie. But apart from that, the man's got good taste in clothing. But he's an idiot. Don't come here talking about disproportionate. Was it disproportionate when someone fucking flew over and murdered people at a peace concert? Of course it was. They was unarmed civilians. They weren't the elites that they're fighting.
Jeds, Ty is in the back, yeah? Please let Ty on.
Who's Ty?
At the end of the day, we're all sitting here arguing amongst ourselves for fucking crazy elites, yeah, that don't deserve respect on either side. And Hamas, you might say they're a terrorist group, but they've got their fucking pockets in with the... Look, where's the leader living? He's in Qatar, isn't he?
Yeah.
5-star hotel in Qatar. Don't tell me that man ain't living it up. Meanwhile, the Palestinians are suffering on the ground. It is. It's all fake. And until people wake up and realise this bullshit... For months, Khan, you've been on these on here with Jedi, right? Jedi's here. Telling me to wake up, wake up, wake up. I've woke up. But I don't think you have.
Conscious eyes wide open.
Jeds, Ty is in the back. Please let him on.
The conscious eyes are wide open. Matting.
So, all right. So my question was, how many Palestinians have been killed in the last 75 years? So, Jupiter and Reggie, give me an answer. What you
I don't
think?
know. We don't know. We conceded. We don't know. Can you tell us?
I want you to guess.
We don't know. What's the point? We don't know.
How many is it? Because you don't know, I want you to know because it's an important fact.
Yeah, well, we know it's an important fact, but we don't know, so we want you to tell us. Stop grandstanding and get to the point.
I'm not going to answer.
Right.
Oh, here we go. Listen, I can't be dealing with this kind of privilege. You want to be involved in the conversation on the phone. Because right now, on the ground, there is people getting killed. And all this, I'm not going to tell you now because you won't guess, is pathetic. Ooh. No, but it is, though. Honestly. And I know I'm getting a bit passionate about it. But when you start seeing the images that are coming out of Israel, it's disgusting. You start seeing the images of Palestine, it's disgusting.
You do not have the facts, and that's the issue.
The facts of what?
Facts of what?
The fact he's asking us about 75.
Facts of how many Palestinians have been killed in the last 75 years.
If we don't know, educate us. And if you can't educate us, sit the fuck down.
Fuck off.
This is very childish,
No,
Randy. I mean, you're asking us a question that you expect us to know every single aspect of the war.
We've conceded we don't know. We've given you that point. You tell us.
Fact in a current story that you two are not aware of, and this is why you need to be educated.
We've already admitted we're not aware, and we're asking you to tell us so we can progress in the conversation.
We can assess how important it is once we know the figures and its relevance.
Exactly.
To this actual point. Like it's not actually.
Yes, please let Ty on because he wants to contribute.
Well, can you just give us the figures first?
I want to destroy you in a debate. Who does he want to destroy?
Both of you two.
Probably you, Reggie. They're all coming for you. They're all getting in their feelings rather than actually having a fucking discussion, which is annoying.
Well, since Randy spent the last 5-10 minutes on here, he's not actually made any point. So I don't
I'm just going
Randy's like one of those special needs people who come on and go, do you know how many there is? And you go, no. And they go, do you know how many there is? No. Do you know how many there is?
Listen, I've had too much Caribbean rum and blue wine tonight to have a proper intellectual conversation. So that's why I'm just having simple sentences delivered to you. So it's not the right time for me to get into an intellectual discussion.
Okay, but we've already conceded we don't know. Can you bring us the figure at least?
I'm drinking rum and Red Bull. Hey. Kick it, it's tet. Right.
Right, at this point, Randy, I need to ask you a question. Do you even know how many there are?
I have a idea.
Oh,
yeah, but
God.
why is it significant up to 75 years? Why did you these anyway, I know Randy's not in his right capacity at the
All
moment.
right. As I was interviewing Jupiter, as Jed said the other night, in 1947 and 1948, the country of Israel was established. It actually was 47 to 48. I checked. In the last 75 years, when this dispute has been going on, we have a number of Palestinians that have been killed, a number that have gone into Lebanon, a number that have gone into Jordan, and neither of you two have any of these numbers in your head.
Brother, do you know how many Israelis have been? Do you know how many Israelis have been killed in that time period?
A whole lot less.
A whole lot less. You see, what kind of number is that?
I'll just put it like this: the Israelis killed over millions of Palestinians for 74 years. That however long they were occupying it for, is obviously over 1 million. And let's put it this way. There should not. Me personally, I think there should not be an Israeli state. I think Israel should move out and give a state in Germany, because Germany is the one that killed the Jews, not Palestinians.
Can you go and get the figures, mate? Yeah, can you go and get the figures? Because you're coming here to troll.
Has he been on here before? He's the new guy, isn't it? I think he's on.
Yeah, it's trolling, and I can't bother with it. It's pathetic.
Do you not understand who that person is?
He's a troll. He could sound like a troll.
No,
it's not a troll. Why do you think Jed's has changed the screen? Why do you think Jed's has changed the screen? Because he knows who he is.
No, Jed put the screen up to make sure he don't get porn bombed, you idiot.
And he's taking him off anyway, Randy, by the way, as soon as you probably are not aware. But Randy, you see the guy said 1 million. Was that aligned with your figures?
It's in that region.
Oh, get out of it.
Liar.
Yes.
You see when you lie about things like this,
prove me wrong, screen share and prove me wrong.
I don't need to prove you wrong.
No, you saw the premise. You fucking prove us wrong.
Facts to this panel, and you're not bringing facts.
Yeah, but you didn't bring any, did you? You brought a bottle of rum and a fucking load of arrogance.
Man.
I can't be dealing with this, right? Randy, listen. I was going to call him Andy then, Andy Pandy. Listen.
Andy, fine, Jupiter. I've already admitted that.
Oh, right. So, Andrew, behave yourself, sit up sharp and fucking understand this, yeah? There are...
Oh, Jupes has gone off as well. Oh, what happened there?
No. Oh. Is Jupiter internet, Elpham internet gone down? Yeah. Uh-oh.
And they've got us.
She's back. She's back.
It's all over land, but it's not all over land. This is a religious war.
It's jihad all over again.
If it wasn't, they wouldn't be beating up people like Shamsi for drinking fucking coffee from Starbucks.
So yeah.
Why did they beat up Shamsi? It's a simple question.
Because Starbucks gives money to Israel, apparently.
Starbucks. There's nothing to do with
this way, we're going to be telling people to boycott anyone because, this lot of boycott. It's pathetic.
That's not the point. Shamsi was saying it's haram to protest. Get your facts right, Jupiter.
Right. And he's quite right, isn't he? Because if you go to scriptures, the scriptures will tell you the right to protest, so you have to do it in a way that doesn't cause harm.
Islam theological point. We'd have to bring on somebody who knows more about
Yeah, but I
Islam,
don't
like
want to go down
Mr.
that
Taylor.
road. I don't want to go down that road. We did that yesterday, and that was very enlightening. Thank you very much for the panel that was on yesterday. It was very good. I enjoyed it. But the fact of the matter is, I'm not going back there. I'm not going back there. We're talking about Mohammed Hijab, and you've got to ask what his agenda is. And at this point, I'm beginning to suspect he's a Hamas sympathizer.
I would agree. And also, Reggie, let me finish. Reggie, let me finish, yeah? And also, is about building his channel, yeah? So it's clickbait and everything. He wants to get on Piers Morgan, build his channel, get more money, etc. That's what Mohammed Hijab is about. Remember, he was sacked from a simple teaching job after his announcement that he would kill anybody at that march for Tommy Robinson, where he was supposed to, where Ali Darwa was supposed to appear on stage, and then all the parents saw that, and he got sacked. So let's remember that the
Randy.
Yes, so is
hang on, Randy. We can't allow you to spread falsehood because that statement wasn't entirely true. He didn't say he was going to.
Falsehoods. I can bring up the article where he was sacked. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you can bring up the article. I bet you won't. But the fact is, he didn't threaten to kill anybody, as I understand it. He was ready to fight, but there was no.
That's true.
Okay.
He just did warm up for the army that was going to go get back, move forward, stand together, move back, hold the wall. Yeah.
You gotta be honest, Randy. Like this, I know you've had a bit, but like that's a bit of a outlandish claim. But yeah, the rest I can agree with. I mean, he's obviously gone on there to for more clout, boost his platform, etc. I vehemently doubt that he actually cares a lot about Palestine. But yeah, it's the talk of the town. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And of course,
I don't like him. I don't like Christmas. Yeah. I
But,
remember him on the ones moaning about Christmas.
Oh yeah. But he's just
going to forget that.
He's on this because it's a hot topic. He knows that a lot of Muslims, even though people like to deny that it's religious, he knows that this topic appeals to Muslims. Even Piers Morgan knows that a lot of Muslims will be tuning in to boost up the figures because that's what they love. They love war. They love violence. They love this kind of
You know what this debate made me feel like, Reggie, and I'm going to be totally honest now, right? I looked at it and I thought, no wonder social media has got to the problems that it's got. You know, I don't know if it is a cultural influence from outside Britain, but there used to be a time where people could actually discuss and have differing opinions without getting volatile. And these two were like two children in a nursery. It was embarrassing, really embarrassing. And I thought, fucking hell, if this is what we've got coming on to talk shows to talk about the problem, what does that tell you for lay people like me? Because I'm not highly educated. I've got A levels. That's the highest I've got, you know. What does that say for the lay people in their countries? You know?
Facts. Yeah. Look at Sarah. She's talking about it's not a religious war, and as if something to do with us being like some sort of like we on some religion. The fact is, you see how many, like I mentioned earlier, how many people went out to protest. How many Muslims went out to protest? And you can see that how much they protest for this cause compared to any other cause. And the only reason it is because it's a Muslim country that's apparently being a victim against a kuffar country, which just happened to be the Jews. And for all the someone else on now? Somebody in the back?
Yo.
It's actually quite hard to find that job article because of all the work he did in Leicester with the
new panelist
anti-Hindu stuff. So
Yes,
I looked
true.
through 3 pages of Google searches, but I can find it.
Yo, hello. New panelist, hello. We can't hear you. Try leave and return because we couldn't hear you. So.
Yeah. It's very, very disingenuous for them to pretend that it's got nothing to do with the religious aspects when we see the way Muslims all side with Palestine against the Jews. And
There's definitely religious aspects to it, but what
Okay,
concerns
I'm agnostic, yeah. So I don't have any organized religion, and I'm saying free Palestine. Now what?
yeah, that's the
Nothing.
fact. Like there are also
To say that, I don't know what you're talking about, Randy.
you're
Honestly,
like
What I'm saying is I'm neither a Jew or a Muslim or a Christian. I'm agnostic, and I'm still
Yes.
saying free Palestine.
you're
Right,
like the chicken. What the chicken is to KFC. Like all these
Exactly.
LGBTQ alliance. You're one of them ones.
No, I hate LGBTQ. So
one of
that's
So
them.
in the light of the recent days, and people like Shamsi getting attacked and everything else, my fears have been heightened. They've not been lowered. And people keep telling me that my fears for the future are irrational. I don't think so. I think we keep creeping nearer and nearer to what I believe is going to happen. And do I feel helpless? Yeah, because I'm just an ordinary citizen who can't do nothing about it. And I do wonder if there's going to be a day where we're all going to look back and people are going to be like, "Oh God, I wish I'd just listened." Not necessarily to
Jupiter. It's not that bad. It's not the poll tax riots of 1990s. There's not violence yet.
but there will be.
Yeah, maybe.
And
I
if
don't know.
Yeah, there will be.
No, you don't know there will be. You're just speculating.
No, I believe there will be. Yeah, I don't know for certain, but I
It's
believe
your
there will.
view. I don't know. I'm saying I don't know. Your view is you're saying there's violence going to happen. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I believe there will be. I believe that we've already seen little pockets of violence. I think there's massive
Of
provocation.
course. I mean, you only have to see Tommy
we've seen from our
Robinson and his mob. You only have to look
power,
at Tommy Robinson and his mob coming down and trying to protect the cenotaph and doing his nonsense, and you're a supporter of that, to know what's going on.
Whatever.
Tommy Robinson.
They're false voices, but whatever. Tommy Robinson didn't do no violence. He turned up and he went off in a fucking
he orchestrated it. He orchestrated a mob. He orchestrated a mob of
people were
drunken,
going to be coming down there anyway. That's a lie. The DFLA.
hooligans.
DFLA
The
had
videos
already
are online, they're on social media.
The
It's all
DFLA
there
had
to
already
see.
put out
He
a
ran
call.
away in a fucking taxi. Jupiter
Yeah, he
watched
did.
the video.
Yeah, he got in a taxi. Yeah, it's not about Tommy Robinson. I don't know why you're bringing him into it.
But
This
because
is big.
Tommy Robinson was publishing that it was going down last Saturday to defend the cenotaph and say, "Oh, we're going to have a non-violent process," and it wasn't that.
Fuck Israel.
Okay.
Fuck Israel.
And that figures
Israel
into it
should never
how
be a
in the bigger
state.
picture.
Fuck Israel and fuck the Israeli government. That's all I want to say. And I will say it my way. I don't.
Oh, fuck's sake.
You see? There we go. The love and peace of Islam on
Should we
display.
No, you don't know he's a Muslim. Should we play the video a bit more and just take a
Come on.
Let's play
Come
the
on.
video and just
Don't be
take a bit of a time out.
Don't be silly. Come on, Randy. Anyway, the fact is, yeah, these marches, these hate marches have been going on for weeks. And the one week the so-called far right, anyway, they are probably far right, that came out, right, to counter protest. Of course, just like the Islamic extremists, they're on violence. So that's what we saw, is more violence. But that's a different subject.
Please play the video and let's just take a
Requisite for peace. In South Africa, when the apartheid system, which we know for a fact Israel is an apartheid state because it has laws like the right of return, which only allow Jewish people to come into the country. And if they convert, by the way, to Christianity or to Islam, they are stripped from that right, it meets completely the definition of apartheid as per Cornell Law School and according to the UN Convention 1973. It's an apartheid system. And as a prerequisite of an apartheid system, you have to be a racist. If you support that, you're a racist, no doubt about it. So number one, 1973 apartheid law. If the black South Africans have been displaced, by the whites, and then they were trying to come back into their country and they were not allowed, and then you ask them, is peace possible? That's not the question we'd be asking them. We'd be asking them, is justice possible? And that's the question that we're going to be asking, because he can sit there and talk about all these things where the IDF, his son Mendy is being attacked vibrated by the rockets, and he's selling him and his daughter selling vibrators to the public.
Unnecessary thing at the end again.
I hope you keep that in.
Rabbi
Please keep it in.
There's some troll that keeps trying to jump on these stupid names and that.
Okay.
1 minute on, is peace ever possible?
Of course. I revere countries like the United Arab Emirates, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, where I've spoken several times. I am safer as a Jew wearing a yarmulke in Dubai and Abu Dhabi than I am on the campus of Columbia University or even Harvard these days. The Mohammed bin Zayed is just an incredible leader. I saw in the Gulf states the Islam that Ahmadinejad rejects, but the Islamic world embraces. That's why they made peace with Israel. It's a technologically advanced, tolerant, forward-looking, very traditional, very religious Islam, and that's why they've made peace with Israel, and peace will continue to be made. All of these countries are praying for Israel to destroy Hamas, because Ahmadinejad is an outlier. He's an extremist, and his views, as he represents them at Speaker's Corner of things about women being subject. Okay, but let me just be clear. All of the Arab countries want Hamas destroyed. And the proof is, when they had their conference in Riyadh last week, they did not even once call to bring in any evacuees because they want Israel to establish a more democratic regime in Gaza, which they will do. Israel's winning this war.
Here's my follow-up to both of you, right? Just give me a very, very quick snapshot of, in 20 years' time, how peace could have been achieved. Very quickly.
Okay, the first thing is, when Israel withdrew in 2005, almost 20 years ago, if Hamas had not come to power, if they had taken all the international aid that they got, tens of billions of dollars, peace would have been achieved by building businesses, entrepreneurship,
how do we get
schools.
there now?
Okay, we get there now by destroying Hamas, making sure that there's democratic elections, that the Palestinian people, not Ahmadinejad, not Shmuley B'Tzeach, not
I mean, you both agree Hamas should be gone, right? We can agree on this, right?
We agree that there should be a bigger Palestinian authority with armies and airplanes.
And on that, we do have agreement.
And the way we have
they
peace,
should have tanks.
In the history of the world, no two democratic
and rockets
powers have ever gone to war. That's why since the end of the Second World War, there's been no war here in Europe. We need to see a democratic Gaza. Hamas won an election in 2006.
There's a war in Europe now, by the way.
Correct,
Ukraine.
because it's against a tyranny. No, I said no two democracies ever gone to war. Putin is not a democracy; he's a tyrant. In the history of the world, no two democracies ever fought a war. We have a democracy in Gaza.
So what does peace look like in 20 years?
Peace looks like the Arabs voting for their rulers, voting and backing them, seeing Israel as a partner, not being humiliated that because of this tiny little red dot surrounded that's humiliation.
Two-state solution?
I'll tell you. If two-state solution is a Hamas state wanting to eviscerate Israel,
he doesn't believe in it.
But he doesn't believe in a two-state solution. He believes in a final solution. That's what really scares me. You don't believe in a two-state solution. You believe in a final solution. The way you speak about Jews, you believe in a final solution, and it scares you.
Do you believe in a two-state?
I love Jews.
If that second state is Mexico
Jewish
and
people are
Canada,
fantastic people.
If that second state is Gaza, then of course not, because it'll just become.
I love kosher meat. Just on the check, are you supposed to eat kosher meat or are you supposed to stick to halal? If it's are Muslims allowed to eat kosher meat? That's interesting still.
No, they have to eat halal meat. And Jews have to eat kosher meat. It's a different thing. So basically, They're both praying over their meat. Is a simple answer to that question.
Yeah, you can eat meat from
Randy
the
doesn't
people.
know what he's talking about.
Big up, Sarah.
Doesn't know what he's talking about. Consistent with what the nonsense he's been talking about since he's jumped on. Boy.
Yeah, I appreciate him joining the conversation, but I do think he's just virtue signaling. That's all it is.
Oh, they're tag teaming you, bro.
Who, me? You talking
Yeah,
about
you.
virtue? You think I'm virtue signaling?
And your friend in the back has got a lot to say about Jews, man, Randy.
The last thing I've ever been accused of is virtue signaling. Believe me.
Right. Well, I've just done it, and that's what I believe. I don't mean no offense, by the way.
As a right-wing person, I understand that because I'm left of you.
I don't know. All I know is that you are virtue signaling. You're coming here and you're creeping. You're creeping without
right-wing fallacy to accuse somebody of virtue signaling.
You do know that you like minorities have a different opinion.
Sorry, what was the point about minority?
I said you do know that you can like ethnic minorities, even love them, and have a difference of opinion.
Yeah. There's only 15 million Jews. I support Jews. I live next to Stamford Hill, for fuck's sake.
Right. I'm not saying that you should support one side or the other. My position is completely different to that anyway. My position is that it isn't our fucking problem. It's Israel and Palestine's problem. And can you get it off our fucking streets, please?
Yeah, because you just want to say, not my problem, fuck off. I only want to do Brexit Britain, and that's it. So stupid.
Because I want to
worried about the UK and not worried about the international community.
Ask me a question.
There are many Palestinians being murdered, and Jupiter has no empathy or sympathy for the Palestinian community.
Randy?
Right. So I just told you that I think that it's not my problem. It's both of their problems, and I don't want it on my streets. And the reason I don't want it on my streets is because I've lived through years of being the kind of person that was brainwashed into believing that Britain needed to go in and help these countries, and they've got no self-determination, and these people, they don't know what they're doing. It's not their fault. They don't understand why they're fighting with each other. Go in and try and bring peace. And then only to find that them same countries turn around and go, oh, well, it's your fault because you came in and, you ruined it for all of us and this, that, and the other. No. Do you know what? The best thing to do is for us to mind our own business.
The first time I knew about the Israel-Palestinian conflict was when I was about 10. I was watching BBC News and the PLO were
Hit the PayPal family.
Palestinian Liberation Army under Yasser Arafat, yeah? I'd asked my father, what is going on here? I don't really understand. And his answer was, it's complicated. And he was correct. It is complicated because you have to study the history.
Yep.
That was 45 years ago.
Yeah, listen, Randy, I've had a week of going from pillar to post, So I had Shani come on and show me a load of stuff that actually I thought was pretty heartbreaking, even though I did see the comedic effect of that coach turning up with a lap speech.
I watched that with you.
That was sad. It was sad. No, listen, it was sad. And then from there, I go to another channel and I learned that actually the Israelis have got a fucking agenda which is against Britain. And then I find out, actually, not all Palestinians, though, are legitimately in the houses that they're in. Some of them have actually took over Jewish houses. And then you're like, okay, so this is a fucking mess. It's a mess that we can't sort out. It's been going on for fucking ages. And the only people who can sort it out are the people that are living on that landmass. Yeah, because I don't really have the experience either in Palestine or Israel to actually say, well, actually, this propaganda's a lie. I live here. I know it's not true. Just like our press put out propaganda.
Hang on. Go back to 1992 and the Oslo Accord. The world community wanted peace in this area. And we nearly got it in 1992 because of the Oslo Accord. America put in and other nations helped out. So we nearly got it in 1992. Let me finish my point. Yasser Arafat was there as well. And because Americans were trying to kill Yasser Arafat, and we don't know how he died, but he could have been poisoned. And somebody needs to take over because I'm not an expert on this history.
Yo, Jets, Muslims are allowed to eat kosher meat. You there?
And that's the whole point, though, isn't it, Randy? We're not experts. And we're only sitting here talking about from our opinions.
You're slow, Carnito. He's already been
I'm
confirmed.
going back in 5 minutes.
Did I miss it? Sorry, Richard.
Like going to the toilet.
Ireland has fallen. Scotland has fallen. UK has almost fallen. It's crazy.
Who's going to save you? India's going to save you.
India's supporting Israel, isn't it?
Well, India's going to save you with like a lot of wealth and resources.
What do you mean by save you? Who do you mean by that?
Well, obviously, as China's economy booms, everyone else is falling by the wayside.
Are you living in Turkey?
The only way Europe can keep up is by bringing in goods from China and workers from, India, and workers are going to come with them. So there's going to be loads of Indians in Saudi Arabia, loads of Indians in Israel, loads of Indians in Europe.
You're going into some random topic, which I don't know.
It's random to you because you're looking at all this through a biblical veil. When in reality, if you look at it as a money situation, you realize that they're trying to bring the riches of India through into Europe to support Europe, because if Europe goes back to the pre-American settings, Europe was the shithole of the whole world back before they discovered America. Europeans were throwing buckets.
We were originally oppressed, yeah?
No, you was the poorest.
We fought the rest of the
poorest.
Hold on a minute.
The hygiene
we had nothing here. The people were backward barbarians. They didn't have an education. They didn't have no sanitary conditions, according to you. They didn't know nothing. There was no food that they could grow. They were truly the oppressed peoples of the world.
It was serfdom.
And when they overcame, they managed to overcome so much of the world. The rest of the world hated them for overcoming.
Hello. Do you not accept that it was serfdom? That the lords and the rich owned all the land, which they still do. You can't own land in England. Yeah, you can get the lease of it. You can't own land in England because it's the same thing. What are you on about? I don't know why are you getting up in your high horse about it? It's a fact.
I'm not getting up on my high horse, but I just find it ironic.
Why do you think a lot of Europeans ran off to Excuse me.
That you
why
want
do you
to tell
think a lot of Europeans ran off to America in the first place?
And then you talk over me. So go on, finish, and I'll wait.
What I'm saying, Europeans weren't so dead set on being slave masters, but it was the only way that they could actually own something in this world. So a lot of Europeans ran off to America to stake their claim and get their land, right? They weren't allowed to in Europe. In Europe, they were serfs. They were slaves themselves.
What's to do with Israel?
Because Israel is building the new Suez Canal, right? Because even the canal that goes through Istanbul, right, is so packed that it takes them a week or more to get ships through there. So they've had to build a second one. Same with the Suez. It's bumper to bumper to get through there. They need to build a second one. But there ain't no room on that side of the sea. They've got to do it on the other side, on the Israel side. They've got to. They can't be bringing goods from India to Europe, and it takes just as long as sailing around the world. Because the whole point of the series is it's a shortcut of going all the way round.
Right. So let's just say there's conspiracy to actually do all that shit. I'm against that. I don't want to get involved in that. What's that got to do with me?
But then our kids are going to be starving on the streets.
Why are they?
Because there's no economy. There's no money. There's no point bringing immigrant workers into Europe if there's no jobs for them.
We can't become more insular and actually produce food for the actual nation.
Jupiter, they can't. I don't know if you ain't noticed this, but they can't. There's not enough fertile soil in the UK that's capable of sustaining England.
Yeah, there is, but they were paid.
Why are you arguing? Why do you think that they bring food in from Kenya and from Israel and places like? Why do you think they do that?
Because the EU paid our farmers to stop farming.
You're so caught up in the Kool-Aid, mate. Listen, sit back and relax. The only thing that grows in England is nettles and strawberries.
That's not
true. Fact. It's a fact.
We've
they have to bring their potatoes from Ireland.
Garden and you don't know how to grow tomatoes. Look at that bloke who comes on here every day.
Exactly, tomatoes. Anything that grows on top of the soil, you can grow in England. Anything that you need to plant under the soil, like potatoes and carrots and things like that, you have to plant them in Ireland because Ireland's at least got soil.
No,
Wales has got less.
My grandfather grew carrots.
I don't know why you're arguing. I don't know why you're arguing. It's a known fact. You're arguing over a known fact. This is what I'm saying about you lot. You're a laughing stock.
No, that's how it used to be. That doesn't mean it's that how it is.
There is not enough soil in the UK to grow everything that we need to feed the people that live here. And it's been like that for decades. Why do you think Britain are making ships and sailing all around the world and becoming
more in? Why are you advocating for it?
You're not listening. You're not listening. It's the cold hard facts of the situation. It is what it is. Britain has to go on ships all around the world, trading with everyone to get stuff to bring back to England to keep England going. It's always been like that. Why do you think the Queen paid for people to go to America and come back with things like chocolate and potatoes and lemons and that?
Because they liked new things, obviously.
See, this is what I'm saying. You're caught up in your own hype.
I'm not caught up in
your own hype. You don't even put salt and pepper on your food. What new things you're on about?
This is sad. You're the one caught up in
What's new to you? Salt and pepper?
You don't even allow people to reply you. You're caught up in your own emotion.
Mate, you just got a one-sided view of history and it's just a joke.
Not about a one-sided view of history. What I'm telling you is, okay, so we're a nation that doesn't really have anything that grows here on mass production that we could actually send to the rest of the world. But if we become a bit more insular and a bit more sovereign, and we only had to cater for the people here, there's nothing stopping us doing trade deals still. What are you on about?
What are you trading though? You've got nothing to trade. You've cut down British coal. There's no more coal coming out of Britain. There's no more British steel. North Sea oils reserves have run out. Like I don't know what you think what you're going to trade.
No, it hasn't. North Sea oil hasn't even run out yet, and we haven't even done fucking fracking. We're actually an island based on top of fucking loads of resources. We just don't want to frack.
It's just nonsense what you're saying.
It's not nonsense. Go and look it up.
I don't know, man. You lot are just like living in cloud cuckoo land, honestly.
No. What we're living in is a world of confusion where we've got these green people.
Jupiter, listen. Whether England wants to participate or not, that pipeline is going through that Israel.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
Right. So what's the point of you not getting a cut out of it? What's the point of going, oh no, we want to be insular?
All right, now you're selling
France
it to
us.
Listen,
France is going to be richer than you. Germany's going to be richer than you. Everyone involved with that pipeline is going to be richer than you. What's the point of you not being involved?
No, calm. This is where I don't understand your mindset. You want the riches of us being involved in it all, but then you want
what I want. I'm showing you the facts. I'm showing you the geopolitical.
Your fucking desperation, your desperation right now.
About what I want. I've not said anything about what I want. Listen, I've not said anything about what I want or how I feel. I'm saying to you, the facts of the situation is, if everybody's making money and you're going, now, well, I'm not getting involved, I'm staying insular, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
They're going to still be making money, aren't they?
And why do I care? I'm not a pocket watcher.
This is what I mean. This is why you could never rule the world. You could never run things. You're just the rank and file
Well, we
worker.
don't want to rule the world.
You just
We're
walk
tired
around
of
with this
ruling the world.
attitude
We're
that you know
tired of
what
being
everyone
told.
should and shouldn't be
We're
doing.
tired of being
The
told
police
we're
shouldn't be
arrogant.
doing this. They should be doing their jobs. Yeah, but you don't know shit about shit.
Okay, Con, I'm going to reply you. We're tired of being told that we want to run the world. We don't want to run the world. We're tired of being told it's all our fault.
You're not
If
getting it.
you Turkey is so brilliant, or Greece, whatever your heritage is, let them step up. Let them have.
You're not getting it. You're
Let
not
them
getting
have
it.
a.
You can't stand. Listen,
You're not getting
listen.
it because
You're
you
not
are the one
getting
that's flapping
it.
about,
You
talking
cannot
about what
stand
you're
in
going
the
to
way
miss out
of
on,
progress.
and how
You
much
cannot.
commercial stuff you want, but you
Listen,
want to blame only
listen.
white people for
You
it.
cannot.
Whilst blaming the black when actually you're fucking more
You
closer to a fucking
cannot stand
white
in the
looking
way
man
of.
than you are a black
Listen,
man. It's
listen,
hypocrisy from you.
listen. You cannot stand in the way of progress. Progress is gonna happen.
I never said I could. I'm only one person with an
Yeah,
opinion.
you said let's be insular and just start fracking. That's what you
But
said.
that's what I would prefer. Yeah, yeah.
Right, you would prefer. Thank you
And
for
there's
telling
a
us
lot of
that.
people
But
like
the
you that
rest
would
of the world is getting on
step
with
away
really the meat and
from all this
potatoes.
bullshit
The
that's
rest of the
going on.
world is getting on with
Look
what's
after
going
the
on.
people in this country, yeah. Let's look
Yeah, the
inward.
rest of the world is getting on with the real shit. Jupiter's sitting at home talking about what she prefers. No one cares, love.
Yeah. And what are you doing?
What do you mean? I'm telling you the reality of the situation.
So while the real world's getting on with all its shit, you're sitting online telling Jupiter that she can't have an opinion. You're not doing much.
I said that your opinion don't count for nothing.
And nor does yours. It's only an opinion.
I ain't got an opinion. I ain't even put my opinion down yet.
You have.
I'm
You're
showing
sitting
you.
there arguing
I'm
with my
showing
opinion.
you that I know what's really going on, and you don't.
Right, okay. So
You're
you've got
telling me this is all about religion, and I'm telling you that it's all about money. It's all about money, and you're like, nah, it's about religion.
Yourself feel superior. That's okay. I don't care.
Ain't nothing to do with religion. It's all
It
about
is.
money.
You're having
Money.
a slice shots and they don't work.
Money. It's all about money,
Yeah, but
mate.
we're not bothered about that. We're not bothered about that.
You can say that because you want the rest of us to believe that, but we're not dumb like that.
The rest of the nation are more interested in security.
Bollocks. Bollocks.
Okay, in your opinion.
It's all bollocks. Like, who are you tricking? Who
I'm
are
not
you
tricking
fucking tricking? Who's this right wing?
I'm
Tommy
not tricking
Robinson,
anybody. The polls have been
brainwashed
back.
fucking merchants coming telling
The
us
polls
about
have been
you need
back.
to care more about patriotism
Out
and
of 10
than
people
money.
agree that one of Big Braverman was talking
What are you on about?
population.
This is how dumb England. This is how dumb British people are. Yeah, they buy their own shitty produced cars rather than buying Japanese cars because they're like, it's British cars. It's made in Britain. It's made in Ford Dagenham. It's made in Ford Dagenham. Yeah, but if it's your own
what's
company,
wrong with being self-reliant?
if it's your own company, then why ain't
But
they
you've
doing
been
what
preaching for
Swedish?
years. We should
You're not
stop
letting me
taking
speak.
away
You're not letting me speak.
from
You're not
other
letting me
countries.
speak.
What's
You're not
your
letting me
problem?
speak. You're not letting me speak. Every
No,
far
you're not
right,
letting me speak.
every
You're
far
rude.
right nutter in this country drove a Ford Escort. Why is that? Because they were made in England. Yeah, that's the only reason. But if that's the case, then why aren't Ford providing British people with at least fucking colour-coded bumpers? Forget heated seats. You're not even getting colour-coded bumpers. You're getting brown plastic fucking shitty, ugly bumpers. And Japanese cars are 10 times fucking better. But you still buy British. Why? Why is it that patriotism? Why is it that patriotism means that poor people have to go without, but patriotism doesn't mean that British companies should give you the best stuff?
Bollocks.
Why is patriotism always used against the poor man to make him go without? Why is that? Why is it Tommy Robinson on the streets telling everyone they need to be patriotic? Hold on. Why is it everyone's getting told they need to be patriotic and do this, that, and that for England? But Tommy Robinson ain't going without. He's spending thousands on his coke habit. He's spending thousands on Moschino. The geezer's wearing designer clothes.
Are you in love with the man or something? Get over it.
I'm showing you that all this is bollocks because everything
showing
comes
me
down
nothing.
to
You brought
money.
nothing to the
It
table.
all comes down to money.
Emotional responses.
Everything comes down to money. You're trying to convince people to care about other things and take their eye off the ball while fucking car insurance is going up. The cost of fucking living's going up. No one's addressing it. The government's getting away with murder and we must be caring about fucking patriotism. Fuck that. That's for mugs. That's for mugs.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
people
that's
like
the mug.
Jupiter
You want
and Tommy
globalism,
Robinson are the only
you want
people
to
that I know,
fill out the
the only people
country.
that I know in my life that actually
Oh,
pushes
let's
that
finish.
agenda
It's
is
having a
you.
fucking
Is
meltdown.
you. Jupiter,
It
you're the
can't
only
allow
person
anyone
that I talk to in my life that pushes that agenda, that there's more important things. No, there ain't. Putting bread on the table is more important than fucking anything, mate. You're not
So
all
I'm the only
shills, mate. You're a shill.
really
You're a
about
shill. You're not a real person. You're a fake person. You're only pushing a narrative, thinking that someone's going to pick up on it, and Jada Franson's going to fucking introduce you to the fucking whoever, the geezer that arranges for people to meet the fucking King of England or something. You think you're going to get a secret handshake? You're getting nothing, mate. Nothing. Neither is Tommy Robinson. They wheeled him out for one day. Now look what happens. He ain't going to get
Why
nothing.
is he so emotional?
What do you
I
mean?
don't know.
I'm telling you.
Can I
I'm
reply
telling
you yet?
you.
Or
They
you're
wheeled
still
out Tommy
crying? You're still
Robinson.
fucking
Listen,
reading.
they wheeled out Tommy Robinson for one
I
day
am listening. You're a
to
rude
do his
obnoxious
dirt.
bastard
To do
who
his
doesn't
dirt
like
that he
it.
done. Listen.
Let's try and take turns to speak, though, please. All right.
Oh, who's trying to speak?
You said a lot.
Was there a counterpoint? No.
You said a lot, so let Jupiter respond, please.
Yeah, I don't know what this man's
I thought I was
about.
just giving her time to think of something to say. Sorry, I
No,
didn't
you
realise
wasn't.
she's
You were
actually
being
got something to
proper.
say.
Right. So, number one, you're disingenuous because you knew I had something to say and you complained that I talked over you. And then when I let you speak, you didn't stop crying. You're fucking shitting yourself. I don't know what you're shitting yourself over. For years, we've had people telling us that we're selfish British people, that we should mind our own business, don't get involved in other people's wars. And the minute we say we don't want to get involved, we have crying all over the place. We're used to it. It's what happens. It's what happens every fucking time. And then we end up caving in, getting involved, helping people, and then taking the blame. And we're sick of
Helping
it.
who? Sorry, who was you helping?
Sorry, I haven't finished. Ordinary British people are fucking sick of it. They're sick of the people that are ungrateful, the people that bite the fucking hand that feeds them. If we're so bad, we're so evil,
we got from what we was talking about to who do you think's ungrateful? Who do you think's ungrateful? Who?
Number two, people that claim that we should get involved, and then when we do, say that it's our fault.
Who are you talking
people
about?
Like you,
now?
Who? People like you.
So
people
you're
like
saying,
you.
So you're saying that unless I toe the party line, yeah, and go along with your bullshit, that I'm somehow a traitor.
Who's talking about parties?
The party line, meaning the narrative that you're pushing.
You don't ask me where I stand. You don't ask me why I think these
What are you on about?
All you do is assume.
So you're a laughing stock, mate.
About her. I don't know why you're hung up on Jada Franson or Tommy Robinson.
No one ain't introducing you to no one with your black husband. No one ain't taking you nowhere. Just
with
chill.
anything?
Chill yourself
Who tells you I
out.
wanna
Pushing the fucking right-wing
anyone?
narrative. You're pushing the right-wing
fuck are
narrative
you on
all the
about?
fucking time.
Let me
Your
tell you
best mate's
something,
heathen. You and
Let me tell you
heathen are
something,
probably
right?
fucking working for the police.
Cry.
Talking
Let me
shit,
tell you
mate.
something, Khan.
Telling us
Let me
about
tell you something, Khan.
patriotism.
If I wanted to go into right-wing politics, the
You couldn't.
easiest route.
You couldn't.
The easiest route for me would be the black route, you fucking idiot.
What black route?
When you
What
sit
black
here
route?
talking your fucking idiocracy,
There ain't no black
right?
route to
You
nothing,
ain't got a clue of what is really going on in this world.
So that's what you've been doing on these panels. You
No,
think there's
it's not
a
what
black
I've been
route,
doing
yeah?
on this panel.
You think there's
I'm
a
not
black route?
interested
So if there's
in
a black
that,
route, why ain't the black people
fool.
found it?
Why is it whenever he's losing an argument, he brings the black community into it?
Because he thinks he's black when he's Turkish. He's
Who thinks
mental.
he's black? You're an
You
idiot.
do. You
So now
do.
we're going to go to ad hominems.
You
All
do
right.
exactly what Mohammed Hijab does, and a lot of you do this a lot of the time.
What are you
Notice
on
that white
about?
people don't do this,
What
and
are you on
notice
about?
that
Just
black
tell us the
don't
people
do
who
this.
are ungrateful.
Black people don't
Who's
fucking refer
ungrateful?
to other communities.
Who's ungrateful?
Try to
Tell us
fucking
who's
sort out their
ungrateful.
problems, and
Tell
nor
us
do
who's
white people.
ungrateful.
Only
Jupiter,
you
tell
fucking
us.
Asians do this.
Tell us who's ungrateful, who's unpatriotic, and who's refusing to follow your line that you're weaving. Tell us.
What are you on
Who?
about? So what's my line? Tell me
Who?
what my line is first.
That if we don't follow the leaders and what they're showing us, and what Suella Braverman and fucking Richie Sunak's pushing, unless we go along with them, we're somehow ungrateful.
Right, that's not my line at all. Suella Braverman has been sacked. I wish she would add her position back. I don't like Rishi Sunak, and I don't think that we can trust the government at all. So what the fuck are you talking about?
But you're pushing their narrative.
No, I'm not. That's in your head.
Of course you are.
Can I just make a comment? Hang on. Can I just make a comment? Why do you not like Rishi Sunak?
I don't like Rishi Sunak because I don't think he listens to the people. I think he's got money. He has no understanding of poverty. He has no understanding of what the realities are down on the ground. And he talks from a hoity-toity position.
I can agree with that.
You have no understanding of what I believe or what I don't believe. Because you can't. You've fed in and you've encouraged and you've added to this persona that is not me. You have no clue what I've done in the real world.
Shit. You're just obviously not self-aware.
You have no clue what I've done in the real world.
When you
have
open
no
your
idea
mouth,
how many
when you
immigrants
open
are in
your
this
mouth and speak,
you have no
people
idea.
are entitled.
You and you talk bollocks.
People are. Do I talk
That's
bollocks?
what you
Do
do.
I talk bollocks?
Yeah, you
right?
do talk bollocks. You have
Go on,
no
name one
idea
thing that I said that's
connections in
bollocks.
the real world on the white side or the black side, but you
There ain't no
assume.
black side. They're 3% of the whole country. There's no fucking black side. If every black person in this country voted the same way, it wouldn't make a difference to nothing. What are you on about, black side? There ain't no black side.
You hear that? You're insignificant.
What are you on about? They're 3% of the whole country. What are you on? What dream world are you living in?
Yeah. Yeah, go on, you speak for the black people. You've just told every black person they're insignificant. Yeah, and they're not. They're not insignificant.
You're fucking joking, mate.
No, you are. You're a joke. Who the fuck do you think you are to tell black people, oh, you're running for...
Are you on TRT? Or are you on HRT? Are you on hormone replacement or something?
Oh, here we go. Can go on personal.
Like, what are you on though? Like, what are you seriously on?
Hang on, Carl.
Have you got no girl?
Don't go personal. Don't go personal. Jupiter, if you go outside of London, how many black people do you think you're going to meet when you go to the home counties, when you go to Yorkshire, when you go to Scotland, when you go to Wales, when you go to Lake District,
anywhere,
when you go
to anywhere, basically anywhere.
Go anywhere in the world, Randy, and you'll find
anywhere in England.
Go anywhere in the world, Randy, you'll find at least one black person. They're everywhere, and don't fucking doubt it or believe it that they're not.
Even penetrating the Arctic region.
Exactly. You've even got them in fucking Iceland.
There in the South Pole or the North Pole, or everywhere.
Yeah.
Sorry,
and unlike a lot of other people,
hang on. What did you just say? You've even gotten them in fucking Iceland. What does that statement mean?
We'll be there.
Well, because I wouldn't want to fucking live in Iceland, would you? It's fucking freezing.
We'll be there. We're everywhere.
Iceland is beautiful. It's got a lot of
it's
geographical features, geysers, hot lakes. I actually want to go to Iceland, so I do not have to you, Jupiter.
Yeah, go on then, Randy. Pack your bags. Off you go.
I've been wanting to go to Iceland for 10 years. It's on my travel to-do list.
It's on your channel to-do list, yeah. Okay. What's that matter to me?
No, what I'm saying is that you're uneducated about Iceland. It's actually a beautiful place, and you should go in the summer.
It's a good place to go for the Northern Lights. It's a good place to go for the Northern Lights. I don't really want to go with this. My idea of fun.
You should go to
It's about personal preference. The last time I looked, we're all allowed to have one.
Listen,
and I hate people like you that virtue signal and try to tell every individual that they've all got to think the fucking same. What's the point in that? I don't want to be a robot. I don't want to be brain dead. I don't want to be dulled to what's around me and have my preferences and like what I like and don't like what I don't like.
Jupiter, I am the last person to educate people to think like me. I'm an outlier. So I don't want anybody to be like me. I'm an outlier.
You're not. You're a cuck. No, you're not. You're a cuck.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. Is that what you think?
Yeah, you're cuckolded by your girlfriend and you're cuckolded by your beliefs.
No, I'm not cuckolded.
You sit here for credit. You can't say what you really feel inside, and you don't actually genuinely fucking. You want people to like you for a false you.
No, I
I
don't
ain't got
want
time
anybody
for
to
that.
like me.
I ain't got time for that. People want to hate me, they hate me. If people get on with me, they get on with me. I ain't got time for that.
Jupiter, I'm
Online,
not
I ain't
coming on
going
here.
to spend it worrying about what everybody else thinks. And I think there's a fucking agenda
Jupiter.
that's going to destruct everybody living in this
Jupiter,
country.
Can I speak?
Yeah?
Okay, I'm not coming on here to make anybody like me. I'm coming on for debate, banter, and entertainment. That's it. You know, I'm probably the least liked of the Trill family. I have the most hatred. I am called a paedophile. I mean, what else do you need to say?
Oh my God. Who does that?
Everybody does that. Jimmy Savile images for the last 3 years. Have you not been watching the streets?
No, I haven't seen that. That's terrible.
So, all I want to say to you is going to Iceland is absolutely fantastic because of what's there. You can swim in a warm lake. You can go and see geysers. You can travel
That's
around the island.
why do you people do this? Why are you trying to sell me Iceland all of a sudden?
I don't know why I bother sometimes.
How is that relative to the
back
bigger
on
picture
mute.
of what's going on in Britain?
There you go, Jimmy Savile.
What? So who's Card? If you're Jimmy Savile, who do they call Card? He's got to be that bloke, that fucking... He's got to be the Jewish producer that was having it off with all the actresses. What's his name?
Don is the guy out of that film where he grotesquely eats loads of food in a sort of fat suit.
Well, fat guy. So what they call me then? I'm fat. What they call me? Tell me, Randy. What they say behind my back?
I don't know. I can't remember. Well, you do your own images.
You're
You only have to do
willing to grass up everything else, but you won't tell me.
No, you only have to do your Christmas YouTube flick where you're doing your sexy thing with your hat.
Jupiter, they call you Miss Piggy.
Right
they call you Miss Piggy, and they call Hector the Black Kermit. Hector's the Black Kermit.
They call me Miss Piggy and Hector the Black Kermit.
Yep.
How does that work out then?
Because you're just throwing around like kung fu chops, hi-ya, and just like, you know,
okay, but why they
blonde and aggressive.
Oh, what? Because he just sits there and has a pint of beer. I don't mind being Miss Piggy. That don't offend me, though. You know, but Randy's really upset because they call him Savile, I think.
Well, yeah, because I only need one. The reason why I'm upset, I don't actually care about it, but the reason I'm upset is because there only has to be one mad troll who then researches me and comes to my door and I have to fucking beat him up or call the police.
Well, hopefully
to be honest with you, I wouldn't want to be called Jimmy Savile. Yeah.
I don't know why you're calling him a cuck. That's really horrible to say someone's a cuck.
Oh, shut up. You're a bigger cuck than he is.
No, but to say someone's going to sit there and watch their missus get piped.
Yeah, but you're a bigger cuck than Randy. At least he's got a woman that engages with it and agrees with it. You ain't even got a woman.
That's the worst thing you can call someone is a cuck.
Oh, shut
That's
up.
terrible.
No, it's not.
Of course it is.
Nice.
Do you know what it is, though? Do you know what a cuck is?
All right, I'm sorry, Randy. I shouldn't have called you a cuck. You're Jimmy Savile.
Listen, you don't even understand.
Oh, right. So I'm not a cook, but I'm Jimmy Savile. I accept the first apology and I'm rejecting the Jimmy Savile comment.
Yeah, because Calm reckons it's worse to be called. So what do you reckon, Randy? Would you prefer to be called a cuck or Jimmy Savile?
Jimmy Savile.
People. You would, oh my God, you would prefer to be called Jimmy Savile.
So why are you mourning?
No, I said it'd be worse. No, the other inverse. It's worse to be called Jimmy Savile. The reverse
Yeah, exactly.
of what you just said.
So what are you going on about, Khan? Why are you trying to cape for saying that ain't real?
Well, where I think because the bigger cock is not even taking the hump.
Yeah.
It's fighting for somebody that is called the lesser cock.
Yeah.
Next one.
Khan is somebody that I call a saver host. So he runs in and he tries to. Yeah, he's always caping. He's always running
I'm
in.
just trying to check if you understand what a cuck is, because you're using this word and you don't seem to realise how bad it is what you're saying.
Oh, come on then, explain to me how it's so bad.
Cuck is someone who gets pleasure from watching their missus get piped.
Yeah, and I reckon that he wouldn't mind.
I know, but
Have you
did
heard
you know
his
that
fucking-
that's what it meant, though?
Have
Did
you
know
heard
that?
his sex life? He loves all that fucking agony.
Andy, do you want to stick up for yourself, mate?
Hey, Randy, do you love the agony, Randy? Is that true?
Hang on. Hang on. Let's review the last 2-3 years I've been on the stream. I've already admitted that I've gone to swingers parties, so you know the answer to this.
Exactly, Khan.
That was the agony part I was talking about. That was the thing that made me giggle.
Yeah.
That made me giggle, Randy.
Yeah. No offense, Randy. I'll still talk to you. Don't worry.
Only on Jedi. Big up Jedi.
I love chatting to you Jupiter, as well, because it's always nice to chat to people outside the normal people you meet, and it's good to get other perspectives in life. So big up Jupiter.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Can't realise one day not to take fucking my opinions too over serious. They're only my opinion. I ain't fucking got no fucking gang behind me. I'm not going around fucking enforcing it. You don't need to be crying every 5 minutes. I agree with Jedi sometimes. I'm over on my panel and I'll say, and on Trilluminati I had this conversation. It was a good conversation. They told me this, that, and the other. Does that mean that I'm promoting Yeah, all right, I'm promoting him a little bit, but does that mean that I fucking agree with everything he says, Khan?
1 sec. I'll be 1 sec. Well, I've got to go and charge for a bit.
Yeah, go on, run off, cuck. No, it annoys me though, because he comes on and he keeps trying to tell me what I believe, and he don't know what I believe. In fact, my opinions constantly change, if I'm truthful. Because as I gain new knowledge, I weigh things up and I go, oh, actually, yeah, I don't think I can like that anymore. Didn't know that. That's a fucking liberty. People want to keep tethering me to fucking things from fucking 4 years ago. It's a bit of a joke.
No,
And
all it is as long as somebody hears your new stance and accepts that this is your new stance, it's normal to be challenged on whatever they heard you say in the past. Because that's just how it goes. Your quotes and shit get brought up. Well, you know.
Yeah, but how many times do I have to tell him that I don't have any faith in the government and I don't believe in the left and right paradigm, and he still says that I do? The difference is, you're never going to be able to take the Britishness out of me where I don't love my country, and I think everybody does, Jedi. I think anybody from any country or whatever they believe their heritage is or what they feel their roots is, anybody is a liar if they say that they don't feel some sort of like kinship to it. And I do. And I don't want to see. Look, Britain is a big enough place for a lot of people, right? And a lot of different cultures. I get that. I actually enjoy the fact that I can go to London, and if I want to go to a fucking Indian party with one of our Indian friends, I can go there, or I can go, I don't know, Chinatown, or I can go to a Nigerian party, Jamaican parties, fucking British parties. I like that. And I get it that not everybody else does, but there's still enough room for those that don't like that to avoid it. But what I don't want is this fucking culture that's going to come in that not only attacks British people and Christians and people that are atheists and people that are Jewish, but they're actually going to attack people that are moderate Muslims. What the fuck's going on? And people telling me, oh, it's racist for me to say, that's my fear. I'm a bit worried about it.
Wait. Who's the moderate Muslim? Shamsi now?
Whoever the moderate Muslims are, they will turn around and say they're not proper Muslims because they're not extremists.
What are you trying to say?
What's extreme? Boycotting McDonald's, is that extreme?
Wait, 1 second, Khan. Are you saying you don't think Shamsi's moderate?
Who, me? Yeah, I don't think he's moderate.
Why? Where would you put him on the scale then?
He's extreme.
Okay.
So he's extreme in what way, Khan? Because I don't really know his Shamsi's beliefs.
Their politics is that you don't go against the leaders, that you have to bow. That you basically have to submit to the leaders.